good. He did it in the 12 Olympians also.
I say he does this in every league that I play with him in, where we're live now, but where
we're talking about J-Mike, everybody.
Absolutely attacks. He figures out what he wants to do, I'm gonna unplug my phone because it's doing that funky thing again. He attacks exactly what he wants to do, lays it all out, and then he does it. He makes a plan, he executes a plan, and I'm mad that 4 or 5 years ago I did the show where I talked about how to identify classes and trade into classes because he cited that episode as the impetus for how he jumped off, and I was like, well, that was really dumb of me because now you crush me in every league I'm in. Peter, hit the button. Let's start the show. What are we doing?
No, I just want to go back to the part where you were saying Juju Smith-Schuster was a top 12 wide receiver in Dynasty. Oh, yes, people. The chickens are coming home to roost or something. Do chickens roost?
They do.
Meant to be a different bird.
Roosters roost. It's in their name.
It's good now. So, I guess. I know. I think it's going to be a seller's market, and I'm buying. I'm happy to be that chicken. I don't know right now, but BJ Lee. So, do we trade Juju? Casey going to have another great wide receiver? I think they're going to draft someone for sure.
They have to.
Have to. They're stocked.
Can I
top 12 wide receiver, top 5 tight end, and a running back who really cares, and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, what more do they need? McCall Hardman.
Are there people to catch the ball when Juju needs to go get a sip
of
water?
How many do you need? How many do you need? I just listed you 3.
They got Corey Coleman too. I read somewhere today.
Oh no, never mind. They're done. They're good.
But so to answer
17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
this is
22.
This is
6-year breakout, baby. Let's go.
I'm sorry, but this is a fantasy problem, not a football problem. This is, let's get them a wide receiver too, so I don't have to think about who to draft anymore. It's like, you're lucky to get 1 and 2
it is
forever in the Chiefs, and now we still have 2. Why 4 teams a year have 2 top 24 wide receivers. That's a good number.
We're go get another top guy, but they need bodies.
They've got bodies.
But being afraid of this rookie class, though, to me is a little bit of a conundrum because, yes, they may go out and draft a wide receiver in the first couple rounds. But there is not a wide receiver in this class that is that difference maker, is that player who I think it will come in and take over a wide receiving core. When I do my film grades,
they got 1.
Well, no, I understand that, Peter. We're on the same page, but I think people are going to be afraid of whoever they bring in, whether it be Olave or whether it be, it doesn't matter to me who it is.
Well, by then too. I know, to BJ Lee's question here, I don't think anyone's buying. I think you've got 12 teams in every league trying to sell Juju, whether they have him or not. Thank you again, Russ. Always a pleasure to have you here. And I think he's going to be a sell, but if everyone's screaming sell, it's like, I have him in every league, and the only trade offer I've gotten is that people offer me seconds, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have done that 2 weeks ago. Everyone's been low on Juju, and now they think a second is high, so there's just no market. So sell him if you can get 2 firsts, but you can't. I mean, your league is different. I don't know if you can or you can't. To be fair, I don't think you'll get what you feel comfortable selling him, or I would feel comfortable selling him for. Am I off on that? I think everyone's written him off so hard, apart from the people that are rostering him, because believe me, I tried, that there's no one who's going to come up to meet the value.
Yeah, I think everybody is screaming sell. And when everybody screams sell, a lot of people immediately say, well, I got to get something for him. And so I think people are taking second round picks for Juju Smith-Schuster right now.
That's what I'm saying. I would have done that 2 weeks ago when he was still in Pittsburgh.
Absolutely.
And I couldn't get him for that in my leagues. And yours, cool. Yeah, I think you're right. In the majority, that's probably where he's going. I wouldn't do it.
It's really funny. I was negotiating a trade that had Juju Smith-Schuster with my buddy Andrew Hall, and he did something. I told him I don't like to do it, and he did something that drives me nuts. The idea that Juju's value, has reasons to keep going up, especially right after this trade, especially like when the draft comes and they don't spend high draft capital on a wide receiver. And he was saying, well, I know what Juju was worth, like 5 days ago. I know what Juju's worth right now. And I know his value is going to go up a little bit more. So I'm trying to get that value. I'm just like, well, I'm not trading him for him 3 weeks from now. I'm trading now. I'm going to pay now's prices. Otherwise, wait till then to trade him.
So which one?
See, that's the thing. Everyone thinks value is what I can prove on. Well, not everyone, but some people will play it that way. Like what it says on a trade calculator. It's like, no, it's what people are willing to pay and what they're willing. That's literally the definition.
Yeah. That's always the.
That's actually the definition. ADP and stuff and trade calculators is guessing where most people are going to be. And so, yeah, I don't like that game either. Like
you can't.
But
if like, screw you, I was higher than what it's going to be in 3 weeks. 3 weeks before now, so it doesn't matter to me.
If you're going to play that game, though, then wait until he is worth what you think he will be worth. Like I'll do that sometimes with what I call micro markets, where like I'll identify a player. A couple of years ago, I did an entire show where I talked about Miles Sanders because Miles Sanders was going at like RB17.
I remember that show,
and I was like, he's going to in the next few weeks. People are going to talk about him because they've forgotten about him. There's going to be some. And all of a sudden
we've done that on this stream. We've mentioned a few that we think, and some have already gone up.
Absolutely. And so like I don't mind playing that game, but you can't go try to get the value that is going to happen in 3 weeks now because we're not in 3 weeks yet. It hasn't happened. And I wouldn't
play him like I will. It's Dynasty. I have to admit value exists, but like that's not where I am on a proven good player now on an even better situation. Where I'm at is 2 first-round picks. I don't care if the market doesn't come to meet me. I don't care if my trade partner's like, that's not what he's worth. That's what I would consider it there. And it would have to be a pretty interesting trade. Like 2 first-round picks would feel generically, if my team is bad, maybe. But that's the value line for me. Like that, you can't get this. A top 12 wide receiver with Patrick Mahomes. And I know he hasn't been lately, but like
you are the only.
That's stupid. I'm sorry.
But how many people do you think are touting him as top 12?
No one. And I'm not. I'm saying you just have to count on at least a top 24 upside, even if they take a rookie.
Yeah,
and
he
that a top 24, like Marcus Brown and even Jerry Jeudy carries like 200 point value in the DLF trade. That's a first round pick plus, really. It's Jeudy plus a first round pick gets you to the next level of player. That's where I would have Juju, and no one's going to come meet it.
No one's going to. Yeah, that you
and
are
that's
way higher
that's
than everyone.
Fine with me. If this was someone less likely to hit in a worse situation,
you are going to.
That's what I'm saying.
For you in your consideration,
and I think we rarely get a player. We rarely get any particular situation, but the odds are on he gets back into the top 24. This isn't. Gabe Davis might have, and I really hope it for him. I mean, he's got some really big touters as well, but the odds are against it. So you take the value line for a player I think is more likely to do it. I mean, you're going to have to meet me or ask what points. Maybe I get the points because I think it's more likely. And I guess that's why I'm saying it with Juju. I think it's more likely than it's not.
He's already done it. He's already done it. That makes him more likely. Sorry, Russ. Go ahead.
More likely to do it when he did it with Antonio Brown on the other side, and now Tyreek's gone.
I mean, fine, but he's still got Travis Kelce, who is not nothing.
Who?
Yeah. What do you mean, Antonio Brown? Antonio Brown, when he played one game with the Patriots and was like a top 5 receiver, then got injured, and then everyone was like, "Oh, he's definitely bad again now." Then came back last year, and as long as he's on the field, he's a top 12 wide receiver. Like, yeah, these players aren't bad because we haven't seen it in a while. All of a sudden, like he's still good. Unless you're predicting injury, he should still be good.
Well, I never said he'd be bad.
But if he's good,
So
that value, it's going to pay off holding that value.
Before we keep going on in the questions, this dovetails though into my Jalen Waddle, because I think people are going to be a little bit scared of Jalen Waddle because Tyreek Hill is there. Jalen Waddle is going to be best in that mold of Juju Smith-Schuster opposite Antonio Brown. Mike Evans with
Godwin.
So Godwin with Mike Evans, Ridley with Julio. He's going to be best suited in that role. I don't think this is a terrible thing for him.
Honestly, that was one of my first reactions when I found out and got in our little group chat there. I was like, my instincts is sell Hill, buy Tua and Jalen for some weird reason.
And the Tua thing.
So I think people are going to play the reverse of vacated targets. Like, oh no, Jalen Waddle's dead. It's like, okay, I take that.
And the Tua thing, people still don't like Tua, and people are doing like the big sell on Tua because his value went up. Have you looked at Alex Smith? The second year that Tyreek Hill was there, the first year that they used Tyreek Hill, Alex Smith's air yards per attempt went up a full yard and a half. He had a career high air yards per attempt, career high overall throwing, like passing yards. It just went nuts. Tyreek.
This is the QB matters argument. This is what I've been arguing with Jacob Rickroad forever. We're going to get it this year. Russell Wilson's going to go to Denver, and everyone's going to be like, "See, Jerry Jeudy's good now. QBs matter."
But there's an interplay.
There's potential to see how players affect the quarterback as well. Like that matters. Stephon Diggs did a lot for Josh Allen, managing to develop more than we've seen any other quarterback. I really think that. And I think we're going to see the same thing with Waddle and Hill, maybe, and Tua in Miami. So, yeah, I'm excited. Should be fun. I think just buy everyone. I wouldn't buy Hill.
Buy everyone.
I don't think he goes down, and so his value's not bad. He's fine. So I'm more interested in Waddle. I'm more interested in Juju. I'm interested in Tua because even right now, today, the trades Bob was putting up, it's like Zach Wilson or Tua. So you can mean again, I would have done that last week.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm still just not buying into Zach Wilson.
That's what we're saying. Like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I would
over Zach Wilson.
Last
week.
Yeah,
absolutely 100%. Yeah. Okay. I thought you meant the other way around. Sorry.
No.
All right. So we're sufficiently behind now. Let's get to the questions.
Hank J, March Madness, most entertaining off season I can remember. I'm assuming that's because of us. Thank you. 16-team PPR league. I was offered Sony Michel, Rojo, 1.1 two early second round picks, and a second round pick in 2023 for Gibson, Brian Edwards. That guy just needs to accept his running backs don't have any value. I would type that out in the comments. Your running backs don't have value, bruh. Stop it.
Yeah.
But in a 16-team league, Gibson will hold a lot more value.
No, Gibson does. Yeah, it's the other guy.
Oh yeah, no, I was completely ignoring Sony and Rojo from the beginning.
Yeah,
and
you can't give up Gibson for
that crap.
No.
And I understand in a 16-team league that you're trying to spread that out and get more depth because depth matters more in a 16-team league, but that's not the depth you want.
No, you want to level that up to Tyler Boyd.
Yeah,
just screw that. I already own the 103, the 104, the 106, the 113. Thanks. Yeah, it doesn't matter, but good for you.
I mean, that's going to help your depth.
That's great.
Frank N, good evening, gents. Sorry I missed you guys last week. No problem, man. COVID does.
Hope you're good, man.
Yeah, it's definitely. If you were going to rank Cooper, Juju, Pittman, how would you rank them?
Like that?
That order. With a big sell sign around Juju. Around Pittman.
I was about to say,
I'm a little nervous about my Pittman hate. Matt Ryan, I don't know.
That's going to be very good for Pittman. Aside from in the red zone.
Do you think that Ryan was better than he looked last year? Because he looked bad last year.
I think he's still going to be okay.
I think he didn't have much for an offensive line or receiving core.
Yeah.
Or running backs. I mean,
he remnants of a much thinner Ben Roethlisberger.
It
like
was literally,
it looked like a struggle to throw the ball.
Cordarrelle Patterson was his best option, regardless of what you think Kyle Pitts will be. Cordarrelle Patterson was his best option last year.
Yeah, I think it's fair, but I think Ryan can be Wentz-like, and Wentz was fine there, I'd be interested to see if the value estimation on Ryan drops, because right now it's still high. Like Casey Keenum was trying to trade me, and I sent a Kenner, I think.
Keenum's a backup quarterback. Casey Kasem.
I'm never going to get it last week. I'll deal with it.
Makes me happy.
Yeah, but she was sending me Jimmy, which I'm probably the only man left in that league would be interested in it, and so she knows me. And but she was trying to get Derek Carr, who just had an improvement, and she has Matt Ryan. And I was like, if I was wondering if she was down on him. I don't think she is, but that's what put that thought into my head. Where are we? Ryan Wyatt, 14-team Superflex, bunch more trades. 111 and Hayden Hurst for the 108. Yeah, sure.
So 111 for the 108.
Yep.
Nice. Good for you, man.
That's just getting the 108 bump for free. That's fine by me. Jake Wake, Mike Evans value, full PPR. 2 first-round picks. It's not. That's not what it is.
It should be.
Same thing. It's like the points are going to be worth just holding that value line. I mean, unless your team stinks and you're honestly really need to add value, in which case you do just need to trade what you can get. I tried Judy and a pick, Judy's meant to have low value. He doesn't, but I think Judy and Rondo Moore are my 2 favorite trade go-tos right now. If I want a player and a pick, because their value is a little lower than it should be, I think, overall.
With this draft class being what it is, Superflex League, would you give up the 106 for Mike Evans right now?
For Mike Evans? Again, that's what I'm saying to Jake here. If my team's fine, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going with. It's always tough, like when we are now, where we're at a weaker draft class than normal, because we know last year, like, really, the 105, the 106 for Evans, but you gotta conceptualize where we are, block out what you could have gotten at the 106 last year. Think about what you can get at the 106 this year. Ignore what you might get at the 106 next year. We're just talking about this year. And this year,
that's fair. Drop off at the 104, right?
Drop if you even like that 5. I know Zach's at 4. So yeah, like once you get out that top tier, go get Evans, because as long as even without Brady, but as long as Brady's there, Evans has the ability to be a top 12 scoring wide receiver, not a top 6 or anything, but he could hit that 12 mark.
Having said that, if your team's anywhere questionable, it's really sell Tampa Bay players right now. Just remember what it was like when everyone tried to evacuate after Brady left, because that's what we got. We got this year left, and if your team's struggling at all, I would sell, because they're going to score points. It's Tom Brady, forget it. But
I'd be fine holding Godwin,
and I don't think
I'm so sell high on Godwin. I was that before Brady came back, and now that his value's back to what it should be,
a smart enough wide receiver that he could be fine for the next quarterback, as long as it's not Kyle Trask.
He's fine. Yeah, he's fine. But that's the thing with Brady. I think the estimation is slightly higher than that. But it's fine. It's fine. Whatever you want to do. Tyler Reeves, with Hill to Miami, would you do St. Brown on the 103 for Waddle? Ooh, that's 103's high. It's really interesting to me. I want Waddle. I probably want Waddle if that's the best trade I can get.
Would you do St. Brown on the 103 for Waddle? The answer, I would take Waddle.
Yeah.
That's you're paying a price there. Like we were just saying, the teardrop is probably just a few picks after.
But I would try to get him for less than that if I could.
Yeah.
But I would pay that
Waddle?
for Waddle.
You mean?
Yeah.
Try to get Waddle
for
Leave out St. Brown, see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think we're getting for cheaper than the 103 at this point.
No, I hate countering because I hate the idea of losing a trade I would do, and so sometimes I just accept it and admit that it's a worse trade than I would have liked. Depends how timid you are with trades. I'm very timid.
What?
Yeah.
No, sometimes you're right. Sometimes it is worth just accepting if you're okay with it, even if the value does seem not in your favor. Just go get the guy you want. That's what's important in the end. So and with St. Brown shouldn't be what stops you from going to get Waddle.
Right. Although I do think St. Brown has turned into a player that I am buying this offseason.
Yes.
Just because of what Detroit has done. where they added Chark and everyone's like, "Oh, DJ Chark," and I'm like, "Nah, fam, that is very good for St.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, that's good.
Chark is almost good enough where the defense has to pay attention to him when he runs past and fast end.
He's fast enough that they do. Yes.
I said almost. I didn't say DJ Chark was good. I want to get that out there. I want to make sure that was clear.
He'll make just the greatest bait. He'll be awesome. Yeah. If you get points for bait, it'll be great. Joe Herbert. Good evening, gentlemen. Not sure we qualify for that term there. Joe. Thank you, Joe.
You said it so
then Matt Ryan, 108, 211, 103. Sorry. Matt Ryan, 108 and 211 for the 103 and the 203. Ooh. So, I mean, yeah, I'd give up Matt Ryan to get into that top 3 range. Probably.
And then moving up from the 211 to 203 is actually very good also. And so, I'm for that. Yeah. At the price of Matt Ryan, absolutely, yeah.
But then you got the 108 in there too. So you're saying like the price of Matt Ryan.
Well, using Matt Ryan as the way to move up in the first and the second round.
Basically paying Matt Ryan to jump up at both picks. You know?
Especially if you've got a quarterback room enough to allow you that leeway. Yeah.
Gurminda, hey G, 12-team Superflex. What is Matt Ryan worth for a pick? Apparently, he's worth the jump between the 108 and the 103 in a Superflex league.
No one should be paying a first for Matt Ryan.
No, probably not. No, probably not. So 201. There you go. Tyler Reeves, Casey is going to get like a Jameis Williams Burks place. I don't know where they're going in the draft. That's the thing. I don't predict. We can look it up.
Pretty late, but again, they lost speed. They have Mecole Hardman if they just need that speed guy. Not to say again he's good or anything, but this is the draft to go get a speed guy. So I mean, it kind of worked out perfectly. Though again, no one will be Tyreek Hill. I don't care if they draft him in the first. I don't care if they trade up to the 101 to go get a wide receiver. That's still not Tyreek Hill. So never in a million years expect that out of any guy they draft.
Yeah, the world does really open up when you're able to accept that comps are not this player is like. It's not that like they're all different.
The other problem with that though is Kansas City picks at 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just looking up. I was trying to figure out where the consensus is on where
that place. You wait to the third because that's probably more of where that cluster of wide receivers will be.
Right now, the consensus has them taking Braxton Hill and Trayvon Walker at 29 and 30, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know who those people are.
Yeah, it's a cornerback. And
it's funny. Like
Burks goes at 22 to Green Bay. So, Burks probably isn't getting past Green Bay if he's there unless Kansas City moves on.
Well, and so like again, like we don't know. Like it's great to speculate, but even if we're speculating, I don't see players in this class being what everybody is expecting them to be. I just don't think
especially
the top
as a rookie.
I just don't think the top end talent in this class is what you've seen over the last. We've been
Burks
spoiled.
Can be a one.
I mean,
for sure.
He's fine, but like I don't have him graded anywhere near AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, CD Lamb. Like he's not in that strata for me. He is down quite a ways. And yes, he's the best wide receiver in this class in terms of my film grades. But he's not. If you're comparing him to other classes, in my little tab that says for Peter. Where I did the my last 6 years of players and graded them out against each other, like he's way down that list. So,
Chris Olave, Riley Biomaster, DTC Riley on Twitter.
Loves him.
He's a huge fan of Olave, and he's the first person he mentioned. Like they're gonna take Olave, and all the value's gonna go away. And I couldn't have been more shocked. I was like, in this draft class, you think Olave is the downfield receiver you would target? Well, yeah. Fucking Riley loves Olave, and I think he's got good reason to. But like, my mind went to Burks, who's not going to be there. Williams, much more natural fit in that kind of outside role. I thought I didn't think of Olave that way. Am I too far off?
Olave can do kind of a little bit of everything. I think he's got.
That's the thing, though. He's more a generalist than if you were gonna go get your outside X alpha. It wouldn't be Olave, right?
Yeah, but
I mean, Williams and Pickens are closer. I would have thought.
And I would even prefer, like, if you're going to try to replace kind of some facsimile or in the aggregate of what Tyreek Hill is, I would go get Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. Garrett Wilson, yeah.
In that same wide receiver core. But I think Olave's a good player. He's very good feet on the sideline. I know you love route running, so he is. He's really smooth as a route runner. He's got speed enough to take the top off the defense, which if you're Kansas City and you just, traded Tyreek Hill, that may be something you're looking for, is adding a player who can, again, get you that 2-high look instead of the single high, which is, that's what Tyreek is doing is taking multiple defenders with him. He gets off press, so he can play outside. He's got a good jab step. He's got a good hesitation move off press. Good job catching, hands catching. But I think he sometimes drifts in his routes and is not always great against zone. So I would rather put him outside and let him work out there than I would slide him in.
Yeah, I think it's either buy Juju or sell Kansas City. And and with Juju's value, I'm kind of all in at least.
I'm buying Juju, even hoping that they draft somebody because that will continue to depress his value.
Yep. Finally, Tom Brady and the 2.14 for Jalen Hurts and the 110. I take
Hurts.
Dynasty Hurts and the 10. I mean, Brady's going to hurt you, but you just got to go Hurts and the 10 there.
I don't think he doesn't hurt you that much with Hurts.
No, I mean in points this year, it's going to suck watching him score points.
Right, but you're going to get the points that Hurts puts up. So it's not going to hurt you that bad.
I am.
Yeah, but no one's going to be calling Hurts to go
on the sides they are. What do you think the points per game difference was last year between Hurts and Brady?
Like a point and a half or 2 points. It wasn't very much. 2 points?
2 points a game.
Sweet.
So I would absolutely move up over a round to get 18 years younger. It probably wasn't even enough. It's probably closer to 20. Yeah.
No, I bet it's over 20.
Yeah.
What would you want?
Probably isn't 24 yet. Yeah.
If you were to trade the 103 in St. Brown, who's the highest target you would aim for? Man, trying to get receiver depth. He wants the best receiver he can get. Waddle's, honestly, Waddle's probably a really good target. Waddle, CD, maybe.
Yeah, CD's a great. If you believe that CD is that guy, even though he hasn't shown it yet, then absolutely go get CD Lamb with that.
He's shown enough of it, I think. But yeah, CD, and that's the thing. You're gonna be looking for a guy who isn't quite that guy, but it's pretty much that guy. And Waddle and CD offer two of the best examples. So you could go AJ Brown, but then you got to worry about the injuries, which is why he's in this value range, I would say. So I'd probably go CD or Waddle.
I'm not even probably. I'm with you on AJ Brown, where I devalue him because of the injuries. I would easily pay the 103 and St. Brown for AJ Brown.
Yeah.
Hold on. Man, go see if you can get Cooper Kupp with that.
No. I think that's almost too high for Kupp in Dynasty.
No.
Man's like 50. Come on.
You gotta
if we're going to value age, let's value it.
Yeah, but you're going to...
No, I agree. I mean...
I'm the balance, Peter. I guess you always were the points guy. What happened to you, team old guy?
Yeah, but the thing is, I think Jalen Waddle and CD Lamb could be in that point stratosphere.
Yeah,
and I know I've done this time. I have been trading for old guys forever, and I know the minute you trade for him, you immediately can't get that back for him ever. No one in your league will be willing to be the nut up or shut up guy. That's you, apparently, if you're willing to do that. No, you won't. I didn't see you trading.
Do you want me to tell you the tale of what I did?
Then you're the guy in that league, man.
Last year in Trade Addicts 2, I was bored and I was dumb. And I'm like, yo, Cooper Kupp can't keep doing this, right? Like halfway through the season, I'm like, this can't keep going on. So I traded Cooper Kupp for DJ Moore and a 23 second, which even at the time wasn't a very good trade. Then, hold on, let me pull it up because I want to actually accurately portray my stupidity. What day is today? Wednesday. Yesterday, I traded DJ Moore, Calvin Ridley, the 110 and the 23 second for Cooper Kupp and Christian Kirk.
That's about the same.
Not only did I pay DJ Moore and the 23 second back, Christian Kirk ain't worth the 110 and Calvin Ridley.
I mean, he might not be worth it, but it's fine. He's not.
No, that is not fine. First of all, I forgot to uncheck the 23 second. I did not mean to send it over, but I wasn't going to go ask for it back or anything. But like seriously, like I still going up DJ Moore in the 110 and Calvin Ridley. That's still a pay.
No, that's not the question.
I got back for him 6 months later.
That's not the question, though. The question is Cooper Kupp next year. Would you trade 103 and St. Brown, the equivalent of the Adams right now?
In halfway through the season,
that's what it is. A year after,
season, yes, everyone would.
I don't think anyone's paying that for Devontae Adams right now.
So so to answer Tyler though, we've decided we've become less tepid on the Jalen Waddle trade that he first posed to us and say, yeah, okay, we like that.
No, I just said
I think we said that
to accept it, so might as well start there and move up.
Yeah.
And don't like Waddle, I would. Yeah, you can aim up. You can aim up from there. Whoever's up there from you, whether it's CD is probably in the same range. I think AJ Brown, people are more tepid because of injuries and stuff, but I'm fine. I think that's up in the same range. Who's up from there? It's Jefferson and Chase, right? That's
you also
anyone but them.
You also don't know. You also don't know how highly your league values that 103. I mean, if you've got someone in your league who is like, Treylon Burks or Garrett Wilson or Olave or Drake London, whoever they have at their wide receiver one, they can get them at 103. Maybe they're,
it's
they value enough.
I think it's an interesting enough package, St. Brown and 103, that you can go through your ranks, right? Who's your one, who's your two, who's your three, and as they reject it, move on to the next one. It's fine to reject it for Jefferson, fine to reject it for Chase, that's fine, and then find where you end up. And if you have to go below, then just don't. Then no one's willing to pay. Then that's fine. Yeah. That'd be a way.
You'll get on the clock, and that pick will be worth even more than it is right now.
There you go, Jesse Reeves, FF. Back to FF. I like it. Three of my favorite people in one place. Where?
You must be talking about the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of good people in the chat.
Be nice if you let us know where he was talking about. I'm just saying. Hey, Jesse. I was hoping Lynn Bowden was going to KC in the Hill deal. Yeah, we got to hold a flame for those guys, I guess.
I've given up on that one.
Yeah, probably. But, interesting, I guess. Bridgewater for the win.
No, Bob. No,
never.
No, I'm with him. He's like my third highest rostered quarterback. I want people to stop believing that. And but bye. So, but yeah, I mean, he's cheap for sure. Dynasty League Football says Jesse, because Jesse used to write for us and stuff. Hey,
I didn't realize who else signed in us.
Notice that our parent company has never commented until Jesse comes in. That's me too. I'm a big fan of Jesse.
I didn't realize that
Allen Robinson is the real
down
question.
there. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Allen Robinson on the Rams to the goddamn moon.
No, you can't.
Can't get one, but still. Damn moon.
You can trade for him. You can give a second round pick to pretty much anyone and get Allen Robinson. And I don't think it's a terrible idea.
I love
Team Allen guy.
I'm psyched.
Thanks for the explanation, Russ. If you're gonna take over the stream, just take it over. I can't. Do
you want me to?
Randy Wyatt, 14-team superflexes. Hurts, Zach Wilson, trade him. JT Swift, trade him. Chase, Elijah Moore, and Kyle Pitts. One more flex spot to fill in all. You don't have You don't have to fill out your roster. Yeah. So I know.
All right. So super flex, you'll walk into Breece Hall, Treylon Burks, and you'll be good.
Yep. In fact, you got enough draft capital here, man.
I want to know what you did to lose every pick in 23 and 24 already.
He got all these guys.
That's ridiculous.
How else do you get Kyle Pitts on your team?
Fair. CD Lamb in a first, by the way.
Kyle Pitts, where are you all at? I've been told he's now a bust because
he's not a bust, but he's also like one of those guys who could end up in that top echelon of tight ends, but he's not there yet, and everybody wants to put him in that like he's there, but he's not there production wise yet.
We put him there forever. I think he's very much a win in a rookie
absolutely.
pick. I think his trade value was way too fucking high. It was way too high, it turns out, because this is within the range of outcomes, but at the same time, like it's the bottom of them. Like this sucks.
Who was constantly the top receiving option when Marcus Mariota was the quarterback of the Titans? Besides like Kendall Wright for that year and a half. It was Delaney Walker.
Right.
Mariota is okay using his tight ends, and right now he's the only person to throw to anyway, besides Cordell Patterson. Running back.
Yeah, it's a little too close to quarterback target specific positions. It's where the talent was. AJ Brown did fine with Tannehill too.
I love throwing narrative stuff at Peter. It makes me happy.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt that Ryan Tannehill can provenly throw the ball shorter than he does to AJ Brown. There you go. That's the best I would have assumed, but yeah. I think Mariota winner, right? Mariota's a winner from all
happy
this.
He got a job.
Perpetually on and off rosters like my entire dynasty life. I remember the Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota debate. I was firmly Team Winston. Turns out we're all wrong.
We're going to fire it back up.
I know. Oh, God, that's a good point. 2022 is going to be fun in a very boring way.
We're back
Nico.
2019 again.
Nico, can someone read that one for me?
Trinidad?
The question.
Oh, you mean the entire question?
Oh, Superflex. I traded
he
traded the Ramondre 102 for Michael Carter, the 110, 204, and 23 second. Then used Carter and the 110 to get J.K. Dobbins. So he traded Ramondre and the 102 for J.K. Dobbins, 204, and a 23 second.
102 is too high. You could probably get Breece Hall at that.
Yeah.
I
would rather have Breece Hall than J.K.
I mean, it's
Dobbins
fine.
But that is the value at which J.K. Dobbins is going for.
I wouldn't feel
J.K.
bad
Dobbins.
It's still wrong. Like,
I never said it was right. I'm just
that can be how it is. But like, I would rather have Breece Hall than J.K. Dobbins. Full stop.
Yeah, which makes me so sad. I love Dobbins.
That's fine. He's a good player. But
I think I want him somewhere else.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Albert O? None. Oh, the tight end. It's a really crucial year for him. This was the most common breakout year for tight ends.
Time out. Who did you think they were talking about?
Honestly, my mind went to Albert Wilson. I don't know why.
Okay. Like, what other Albert O is there?
There are not a lot of Alberts in NFL history and fantasy, okay? Like, I've got one on the front of the Rolodex, and I forgot about this again. It's a really important year for him. I think it's going to be tough because he's not the best receiving option, certainly not the best proven receiving option, but let's hope. This is an important year for him.
Fastest, let's say if they're in 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, he's the fastest. Like, he's probably faster than Sutton or Judy. I mean, when put Hamler out there, maybe he's not, but like, there's a good chance that he's just running straight from in line, But like, Fant wasn't completely steady, but he finished the season at a decent point total. I think you're probably in for the same thing with Alberto.
Yeah, so
value in Superflex picks, I would probably pay
late second.
I was going to say an early third, but yeah, right in that.
I just say like second because I don't think you get him for a third. So I'd say fine. I'll give you the 212 instead of the 302, and we'll call it a trade.
Yeah, Thailand's on a difference maker enough for the majority of ones that are good that it's worth going above that for his potential. Even
yes, you should, Randy.
Yeah,
I think you can get more for him.
I think everyone's caught on.
You think so? I don't
think so.
In
I get a lot of
leagues. I do have DeAndre Swift. I can't move him for something I feel good about.
No,
I see a lot of people valuing him over Harris, like strongly over Harris, and I'm like, I would take a Harris plus for Swift, and that's
yeah.
Give me Harris plus anything for Swift, and I'll take it.
My timeline is like the full marching band. You know, the bass drum, doom, 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 DeAndre Swift, bah, 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 you know, that's.
Oh, I wish I still had my trombone. I'd go grab it right now and start playing for you.
I was going to mention that because I couldn't remember if I had before. One of those players I think is going to do the whole trombone thing later is AJ Dillon. Speaking of running backs, I think that drum beat's going to get going real hard the closer we get to August. So right now I'm interested in AJ Dillon, and later I'll be interested in Aaron Jones again.
Right,
which completes an entire career cycle of me being higher than everyone than Aaron Jones. So that's cool. 12-team Superflex, PPR, 108 and 111.
Yes, do it.
Yep.
Get Waddle.
We just agreed to
do absolutely.
We just agreed to do it for more than that. So, yep. Is Tonyan going to be the top 5? No.
He'll probably be
usable. If you want discussion, you've got to say it because we are trying not to get 2 hours behind in the chat. That's our goal today.
Wait, no, I'm actively working opposite that, Peter. I'm trying to get 2 hours behind.
Someone's got to be. JCasp. Yeah. I am the Waddle and Hill manager.
He'll
not
be fine.
Super happy with today. You're good. Honestly, you're good. I would always consider trading Tyreek Hill, but I honestly think you're fine. I'm actually excited for Tua. That's how fine I think you are.
Yeah.
Amari Rogers upside with Watson. Yes, I think Cooper's fine.
So much fun to watch Peter read stuff.
I was happy with Cooper before.
But English
Watson.
is his second language, Russ.
It's like he
I was happy with Cooper before Watson turned up. So now, yeah, there's definitely a higher ceiling with a better quarterback.
Amari Rogers' arrow's going up too, right?
No. No. Pick who up in the 9th?
Maybe Amari and startups, but that's too late. I don't know.
It's not the same person though, so I don't.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to think like who they were answering.
Yeah, if you can get Cooper in the 9th, that's awesome. Bob Kilchrist, a trade calculator is a baseline. Yeah, it's a neat way of looking at it, but it also lags behind what a person in your league's value, and it's an estimation of the average. But yeah, sure.
Yes,
and you need to decide.
Yeah,
you need to decide for yourself what you think they're worth. Yes, I think this is. I think this is basically what I said, but better. Weaves, everything, lads. Evening, lads. Jesus, I'm too excited today. Juju's good again. Evening, lads. What's the lowest pick you would accept for Marcus Mariota? Ooh, Superflex, I'm assuming.
2.5.
You would accept a second round pick for Marcus Mariota. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I give a first for Marcus Mariota.
And I'd rather see what happens.
No, 1,000% yes.
So we just did a Superflex mock on the Dynasty Dummies, and we went 2 rounds, and I got the DFPN network, the only network in town. I got a quarterback at the 201. I think it was the 201. It might have been the 206, where I got my second quarterback off the board.
Who was it?
It was Sam Howell, because I am a Sam Howell stan. And so, yeah, I don't mind getting a second round pick for Mariota because I have a shot at in a class where it's going to be undervalued because the quarterback class is underwhelming. You actually have a chance to do better than Mariota potentially. So I like the second.
Yeah, because you're not getting a first for him anyway. So just
yep. And I would put a third with him to get up in the early second just to have a shot at that.
Yeah.
So,
assuming DK, you got to put the hyphen.
No, he resigns. He's just done with Seattle.
He's out. He's gone.
I thought they were going to re-sign him.
They're not going to resign him. Assuming DK re-signs with Seattle, what would you add to Claypool or Gallup to get him? You have to add at least a first.
At least you're not getting him for less than a first with those two players. In fact, Gallup's a pretty interesting player. Like, he's the one whose situation's changed where I don't think anyone noticed. Like, Gallup's now the wide receiver 2 without Cooper.
Yeah, but everyone's just stuck on the idea that he's hurt. So, man, really, honestly, I'm sitting here thinking Claypool a first and a second, I think, is what it's going to take to get DK from that. And unless people have fallen enough on DK after Wilson leaving.
I think that's why you could get him if you just added a first, though. I don't think anyone would be interested in that before.
And I think that's beautiful because how many wide receivers in this class do you think are better than DK Metcalf? That was it. That was the answer. Yeah, none. So
we're saying 23.
Throw that. I mean, what?
23, like a 23 first.
I mean, I would be.
I think there's at least 2 that's going to hit the same value range eventually, but could take a sec.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the point is here, DK Metcalf is 24 years old. He's really good, and he looks great without his shirt off, and people are low on him. So
metrics, baby.
No shirt metric is an important one. David Shaheen, keep trade cut. Rashad Bateman, Jameson Williams, Chris Olave. I'm going to keep Bateman, cut Williams, keep Olave, I guess. That's what my ranks are right now. So.
I think my keep trade cut, I think, is in that order. No, honestly, I'm going to trade Bateman.
I'm keeping Olave.
There are people that are Bateman fans, and they are willing to still put up like a late first for him, and that's insane. So if I can get,
like, he was, that's what he cost. Why is that insane?
Because I love you.
Okay.
I just
so that's the thing. I want to be high on Bateman, but there are so many people who are so much higher. It's kind of insane. Like I think he's easily worth more than he was last year.
I'm going to take the risk.
People want him to
Williams. Trade Rashad Bateman, cut Chris Olave.
See, and I'm gonna keep Olave, trade Bateman, and cut Williams because I think that I think Olave is more complete than Williams is.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely the safe and probably the right answer. But I'm gonna have some fun and go take JMO.
Well, keep trade cut's just a ranking question essentially. So you would have Olave over Bateman and then Williamson third.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Like, because I guess maybe I'm just overthinking it. Where the fact that if I'm thinking keep trade cut, I'm gonna keep them because they might also score me points. So it's not. It's like dynasty value. Trade value, who cares? It's different for me. And again, I'm probably overthinking it compared to other people, but it's just who I am. I overthink everything. It's fine.
And we kind of like you. King Henry, rank these QBs. Fields, Tua, Stafford, Willis. All on the board in my startup, and I'm on the clock. Already have cut 2. Well, hopefully you're still on the damn clock because we took a second to get here. At Stafford's first. It's Dynasty, so you might want to go Willis. But
Willis, Tua.
Stafford, honestly, Willis, Tua, Fields.
Willis and Tua is more of a feel your league out and who has the most value. I would rather have Tua on my team, but if you can get a lot for Willis, I would take him first and move him.
Fine.
I am hesitant to take the rookie quarterback before the NFL draft. And
yeah, that's fair.
And that's the only, I'm not hesitant on Malik Willis.
That's why I went Stafford, to be honest.
Yeah, no, and I think Stafford's probably the right choice because people get so hung up on Dynasty being the long con, and it is. But if you're in a startup and you're trying to win, Stafford is the one that you want, right
I mean,
now.
even if you're trying to win in 2-3 years, Stafford's still the right answer.
That's what I mean. Like in a startup, like where we're at, Stafford is easily the pick. And people looking too far down the road. I mean,
well, here's the thing with Superflex too. Like, there will be a gap after a certain tier of like you overdraft the second tier, and honestly, I think Fields and Tua are kind of not in the same tier here. It's between Stafford and Willis.
Yeah,
value wise, it's just
and Fields works out.
And you might have a shot at one or the other by the time you get to the next round in a startup. And that's how I would overpay the next time and go points this time.
So he's assuming there are 12 teams and assuming that he didn't trade anywhere. So, like, he got Cup. He didn't Cup in the first. So maybe this is like the third. Like, Tua and Willis should both be around in the fourth round of a 12-team.
I don't think Willis should be.
Okay.
I mean, people have already got him locked into the 101. I mean, would you trade the 101 for a fourth-round pick? Probably.
I mean,
a fifth-round pick? Probably not.
Not to brag, but I had JJ Zacharyson on Trade Addicts last night. I mean, we're a big deal now. And JJ said that he has Breece Hall as his Superflex 101 right now, subject to change on the draft how early Willis gets taken. And, I mean, he's right. I saw Mel Kiper did a mock draft where the Steelers take Malik Willis at 20. And I still, honestly, even if I have to sit Willis for a year, which I think you would in that case, I still think I'd take him as the 101.
Well, that's so here's the question. Would you take Jalen Hurts? Where would you take Jalen Hurts in this?
Well, screw me sideways. I'm definitely wrong on Fields. I thought Fields was dropping. He's taken 19th overall in Superflex ADP.
Oh no, he's going up the second Nagy left. Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm just wrong.
But where would you take Hurts in this group?
Above him.
In this group?
Yeah.
He would
Stafford
Hurts, Willis.
Okay, I'd probably take Hurts over Tua.
So Hurts was a second-round pick who sat for a year. Like I really think that is the trajectory of Malik Willis.
I liked Hurts more than I see from Willis now.
Yeah? I mean, like, a little. I will grant you that. He was a better thrower. I think Willis is a better runner.
Yes. Different runner.
Similar runner.
Is he?
Like, but even in that scenario, weren't you just talking about getting too long term and thinking that Willis will be what Hurts is in 2 years, if I'm right? You know what I mean? It's hard to value him over right now.
But I think you're going to get the first round capital with Willis, so you're not like you're going to get that instant value, the value with Willis because he's a first round quarterback. So if you wanted to trade him, you could.
Yeah.
Where Hurts was a second round quarterback, you could buy low on her. I mean, I was talking about that when people were taking Jordan Love. Well, I've got my Jordan Love right up, and at the very end it says, everyone who thinks Jordan Love is a running quarterback in this class needs to draft Jalen Hurts.
The weird part is, it's basically who do I draft, and all of this conversation would never have changed any of our answers from being Stafford. So,
Stafford, yep.
Yeah. 12-team Superflex thoughts on Justin Jefferson or Amari Cooper, the 1-2 and the 110.
Jefferson.
Yeah. But it's close. It's interesting.
It's closer than I said it. I said it quicker than it is. Further, like it's
Cooper, Breece Hall, and a wide receiver from this class probably. Like that's with Cooper as a safety net for points. I don't hate it.
If I'm competing, if my team was good, I'm taking the Amari Cooper and Breece Hall side of that because I think that makes my team better.
Can I counter the 110 and go get me a producing player that's worth the 110?
Yeah, but
in which case I might completely agree. But right now, I feel like those are three pieces, and I can go do something better with Justin Jefferson.
But the cool thing about the 110,
that's fair. You could get whatever you want for Jefferson, and this might not be what you want.
Right, the 110 also afterwards. Yeah.
But the 110 in this draft, you don't know who that like. That's the crazy thing about this draft is it could be Pickens. It could be Olave. It could be whoever that wide receiver is that you like, and then all of a sudden you really won this.
Well,
yeah, but you
can do well.
I kind of like Russ's point here that who is the guy that you want? You can go and get Justin Jefferson on a first-round pick. With Justin Jefferson, you can go get whatever you want and a first-round pick. That should be the deal with Justin Jefferson.
Like, so if you believe in Amari Cooper, like you think he's going to do well with Watson, if you are a Breece Hall fan, then yeah, this is absolutely worth doing. The value is good enough to go do it. I don't like 3-for-1s, like especially at someone at Justin Jefferson's level. It's just the fact that it's a 3-for-1 is what's holding me back, especially if you're trading that young of a wide receiver, that good of a wide receiver. The 110 involved just doesn't thrill me at all.
Yeah, but at a certain point, I mean, you can't pay like Justin Jefferson's like the very tippy top of the dynasty class, so he's worth 3 first-round picks. Here you've got 3 first-round pick value, and you guarantee one as the second overall pick. Like I think, unless you want to go out and get someone specifically other than Amari Cooper or other than Breece Hall, like that's good. That's good.
Yes, yes, this value-wise is good. I would be happier if
you're
you
not
could tell me
alone.
it's Amari Cooper and like I guess not really. Okay, so it's Breece Hall and combine the value of Cooper and the 110 for someone else. But again, that's
you're not alone. John would also just like nah, and that's fine too. Like I think the value here is
absolutely
good.
A personal thing. If you're cool with that 3-for-1, you absolutely go do it. It's a me thing. I would want more if it's a 3-for-1.
That's fine. It's your team. It's fun having Justin Jefferson. Why not just keep him?
It is absolutely fun having Justin Jefferson on your team.
Bryant Keebler got offered Akers and McLaurin for Tyreek. Thoughts? My mind went blank on that actually. It's too low.
I still think I want Tyreek, even with McLaurin getting a little bit of a bump, getting an actual quarterback instead of a running back as a quarterback.
I forgot that, but yeah,
it's still maybe it is just Akers. If we picked someone else like that's around that RB8 area and put their name in there, I might think otherwise. But I want to see Akers do well before I send away Tyreek.
So many of these trades we get asked about, it's like I like those players because I think they're a little undervalued, but someone's trying to get rid of that undervalued by combining them. And I get it, and I like with the Jefferson trade, like you can just go get the guys that you want. I think Tim McLaurin's an incredible player. Top 24 upside is probably his most likely expectation at this point, even with a better quarterback. And Akers is a little undervalued right now and could easily be a top 12 running back. I get it, but they're not discounted. By combining them, they're getting rid of the fact that they could not get this value for either one individually. And so I lean the Tyreek. No, you got to throw some draft capital in there if you want that. For me,
but I do think points wise, you'd be fine if you did this trade. Value wise, I think any given week, either of those two guys can score Tyreek Hill's points. Yeah, but there's going to be at least 3 or 4 weeks in the season where he will double both of them.
He'll win you the week. Yeah. Local liability. Awesome name, by the way. That's why I've been hesitant, but I didn't know if it was just my Vikings bias.
His value in Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
In the trade.
Yes. Yeah, that's fair. I think when you're the guy holding the guy, you can just do whatever you want. If you want to keep him, keep him. It's okay if the value's not there.
Justin Jefferson's value is not going to change anytime soon, short of injury. So you could, do whatever you want.
Just
Jake Quick.
Wave him around like a fancy Rolex. Let everyone be jealous. It's fine. Jake Wake, not speaking from experience. ETN value, full PPR, Superflex, pick value versus player value.
Would you, in this draft...
He's a buy.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
His value's still not
means nothing. I know this means nothing. I'm weirded out to have not heard anything about him yet, health-wise. I'm also just not a fan of getting people the first year after a broken foot. Also not being thrilled completely with ETN as a prospect. But in this draft, I mean, you're paying a first for him, right?
He'd be a top 3 running back in this draft again.
So, yeah, we're probably talking 106-ish.
Easy. He's in the top 5 if he was in this draft. Yeah.
He's
going running
March
back.
ADP, sorry, let me just get this out and then I'll let you talk. March ADP, he is RB19 around Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, David Montgomery, Isaiah Spiller, Elijah Mitchell.
Go 2 picks ahead of him.
Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs.
That's one. Go up one more running back.
Nick Chubb. I'm looking at Superflex. No, I'm looking at startup. Are you looking at Superflex?
Nope. Brees Hall is the next one above Josh Jacobs.
Brees Hall's RB8. What are you looking at?
I don't know. Something. I got Brees Hall at RB.
I got March 22 startup.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong month.
We're a smooth running show. We like to have a lot of information to hand. And
it's weird
I
that
think Brees Hall
ETN didn't change from February to March.
Happened.
We're still waiting for a workout video. And I think, honestly, right now, the team media is all, let's pretend and wait for everyone to forget how terrible our coach was. It feels like the vibe is like, please go away, coach.
It's so weird that, like, him and Dobbins, we've heard absolutely nothing about. It's
a little weird.
Again, it's really just me. And I get it's weird.
That's fair, but... Yeah, if I'm buying for below the 106, I will still probably bet on his value going up the minute we see stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm with
you. Happen. But
if you're telling me I can get Josh Jacobs right now for ETN, I would do that.
Yeah, I think
I'll play that safe card and give me the guy who's going to score top 12 running back, even though it won't be pretty.
Okay. Saying Josh Jacobs is ugly? Is that what you're saying? Frank N. He said it. You all heard it. Russ restarting the McCall hype. I did hear it.
For the moon!
Me and you, Frank, we're going to start that. Brett, trade Ayuk for the 105 and the 105 for the 101.
Yeah.
Fine. Superflex or
I'm not high enough
actually,
I'll
be fine. That's fine. Yeah. I think Ayuk's... It should be...
He'd be
we
fine.
should have decreased on him, but he's fine. And the value.
But if I can send someone fine in the 105, which again, assuming Superflex is a player outside of really the top tier, those 4 players I want to get, I would send both of those to go get whoever the heck I want.
I just know if Samuels gets hurt again, Team BMI is going to put him back in the 4th round. Ayuk, is.
If Debo gets hurt for an extended period of time, Ayuk will score a lot of points. But Brees Hall won't care how much he'll just score a lot of points.
Yeah, that's fine. Jake Howard, good name, man. Good, solid name there.
Any relation?
No one bad's ever called that.
No. Hold on. Is this your and Anderson's love child?
No comment. Godwin for Amon-Ra St. Brown and a 23-second. It's too low. There's nothing clearly worth a first.
I'd rather have Godwin for that, but
yeah. But
I
honestly,
like Amon, man.
Would you pay Amon-Ra a first for Godwin?
No, but that's a second.
No, that's what I want to trade him away for.
No, but I'm curious. Like, if you like Godwin, which Zach does for sure, would you pay Amon-Ra a first, 23 first for Godwin?
No. But that's a second. And I would rather have Godwin and Godwin for Amon-Ra a second. Like the first and the second is a pretty big value gap.
It's not hard. Yeah, it's huge actually. I think.
I was just curious because we were all saying like Godwin to me is the answer, but how off is it really?
It's not.
Well, you got to remember Zach just doesn't notice that second. It's nothing to him. That's just Amon for Godwin straight up.
He's got it. Peter knows.
Me, I'm halfway in between, but a second is still like, you know how many burnt second round picks we all have, and I forget it. I mean, you got to give me something for secure for Tom Brady's number 1 wide receiver.
I'll give you something good for Mike Evans. It's fine.
No, you wouldn't. We just had that conversation.
I would.
Would you rather have Judy or Waddle?
Waddle.
Yeah, by a lot.
And I love me some Judy, but yeah, just Waddle.
Looking at you slant-eyed from now on, Frank. I'm a little sideways. I'm not sure about you no more. Just joking, Frank. I'm a bad person. Also, this person asks a question. Lamar for the 23-second, the 104, Watson.
You said that. I'm like, no, Peter, no, you're not. I didn't even think that was that person.
In a one quarterback. Don't drop the lead. In a one quarterback, it's taking the package with Watson.
So you're getting the 104 and the 23 second for nothing because you could just cross off the 2 quarterbacks.
Right.
Yeah. Although one makes you feel happy and the other one makes you feel kind of greasy and nasty.
Absolutely.
But you can also drop him and play the waiver wire. It's one QB. Doesn't matter. That's my feelings on it. How far up your board does George Pickens go if Casey takes him at the back end of the first? He's already pretty high on my board, Aaron. LaForte, nice name too. I've got him as a wide receiver 2, but it's in a very strong tier, and he's mostly there to make the point that I like George Pickens and no one talks about him. So he's pretty high up my board, to be fair.
He goes all the way to 105, which is where he is right now in a super flex.
Yeah. I try not to let landing spot influence me too much. I'm not going to pretend it wouldn't make me go, yay! But
this is like pretending that whoever Green Bay takes, we're going to be as excited for that guy as Devontae Adams.
Right.
Whoever comes in.
I'm shutting up. Russ is going to say something smarter than me, so I should just shut up anyway. But I'm just
drafting a wide
you
receiver.
Remember the who's going to be the next Randall
your draft boards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Okay, besides the fact that was insanely bad process because the Chiefs never actually passed to the running back in the first place. No.
Unless you're good at it.
We can't. No, you can't expect the offense to just be like, oh, that guy left. You're there now. And we're going to play the same offense. Your team changes when you lose Tyreek Hill. We don't know what this new offense is going to look like that already has Juju and Kelsey. Like that is a really solid start to an offense. Not the same offense that was there last year, though.
It's not really the question, though,
head coach and offensive coordinator, like not to shortchange Bieniemy by any means. Like they have a good enough offensive staff that they can change that offense up and just be fine.
But isn't that part of the no.
I
think George Pickens was pretty good in college. He goes to Kansas City with a pretty good coaching staff, a great quarterback, good supporting cast. Like they're not going to make him Tyreek Hill, granted. But I think George Pickens is pretty good.
Yeah.
But no, but like the thing is, you do already. If you don't like him,
right,
moving him up your draft board is.
I'm not. That's fair. I'm not moving him up. Yeah.
I apologize if I didn't get that out there. But like, because that's what I was saying. Like, CEH was most people's like RB4 or 5.
Yeah, he's my RB5, and I moved him right up
behind him. I know, like that's the only thing, but
yeah,
I moved him up to like 1B. That was my whole thing.
Burrow and Tua and over Jonathan Taylor. Like
Jamal Charles, baby. I'm sorry. Show me Jamal Charles, I go blind. I'm like, and then you watch. Oh God, what's his name? The big YouTube guy used to be an ESPN commentator talking over and I watched that. I watch film grinders talk endlessly about how much of a player he was. He might not have the stats, but he was such a good teammate, and you should see him rush and the heart. And I was like, I want him to beat Jamal Charles, and I believe so hard. But no
one is going to beat Jamal Charles.
No, ever. I miss Jamal Charles so bad.
Special.
Him and Arian Foster, honestly, I feel sad sometimes. Like, I love those guys. Last time I liked the running back position, man. I don't know why I'm acting like it's whimsical. Yeah, to answer your question, Aaron LaForte, we're probably all pretty much higher than the consensus on George. We think he's good. So
if you want to move him up 1 or 2 spots in the tier you had him already, fine. Yeah. But don't go moving him from like the 110 to the 103.
Also, especially with wide receivers, and yes, running backs too, but especially with wide receivers, the talent way outweighs the landing spot. For me, a team can change.
Dave Brown effect, baby.
Yeah, a team can change on a dime. What a team does can change on a dime. So bet on the talent rather than the landing spot for sure.
All right, so Frank N doubles down on this question, asking which would you rather have, Judy or Waddle? But
still Waddle.
Yes, if still Waddle, what would you add to Judy to get to Waddle? I mean, you got to add.
I'd probably want to first,
very early first this year.
Yeah.
Or hope someone's that enamored with it when they see a 23 first and throw Judy in the 23 first.
Yeah.
Like I believe in Judy. I do think he's going to wide receiver 20? Like I'd be thrilled with a wide receiver 20 season out of him. Yeah. Do I want him to be wide receiver 6? Yeah, I do, but it's not going to happen. So yeah, you're adding at least a 23 first or a very early 22 first to get from Judy to Waddle. Unless you have Frank, that crazy person in your league that thinks Judel nice. I just oh god.
Yes, it did.
That thinks Waddle is dead now that Hill is there, then you try and lowball. Why not? There's nothing bad's gonna happen. But if you want to throw your good offer out there, early first or 23 first.
Yeah, I guess I'm coming at it from a different angle than you, Frank. Like, Waddle performed as well in his rookie season as Jamar Chase. So rephrase it that way. What would you need to add to Judy to get to Chase? The world? Yes, that's how far you are from me in terms of how much expectation I have going forward. That's a weird-ass noise, Bruce. I'm proud of you.
You're thinking way too logically about that. There's no way, points be damned, that anyone's valuing Waddle even before the Hill thing.
No, I get it. I don't have to value Waddle like Chase. I'm saying that's what I know about Jalen Waddle that I think the market's missing, that he performed as well and scored as well as Jamar Chase.
So to me, the question is willing to do that. That's not what you should do.
No, not at all. Chase has got more value. I don't have to value Waddle there. But that's why this question strikes me as odd. You're asking about a guy that's literally the highest dynasty, who did as well in his same rookie season as the most valuable dynasty asset in the league, and saying, what do I have to do to get from this wide receiver 30 to get there? Like a lot. For me, it would be a lot.
Just to give you why 2 inches and 16 and 26 pounds.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
No, but I mean, that's how.
You know what I was doing? I was doing top 5 research, and it doesn't mean it. It's such a small sample of players that it doesn't mean anything, but it made me feel good, so I'm going to share it. Who do you think, like Calvin Johnson and Julio Jones, right? The BM, like the guys. Who do you think has more top 5 seasons, him or Reggie Wayne? Or DeAndre Hopkins, also not a size-adjusted athlete. Like, if you look at the top 5 group, the guys have fewer top 5 seasons than the small, voluminous little guys with low adjusted. Like, that's not where the points come from.
I've been preaching.
You just made Zach insufferable.
I've been preaching this for.
I did. It's what I do.
7 years, because catches matter so much in this. Like, a reception is a point. It doesn't matter how far. Like, anyway, yes, Jarvis Landry, great. I love it. Thank you, Peter.
But yeah, it's also it's a very unimpressive by NFL standards who just work the middle of the field. Those are the guys who end up with more top 5 seasons. It's not Calvin.
But Reggie Wayne played a really long time with Peyton Manning. So
I mean, even
Jerry Thomas doesn't get into that.
Even Jerry Rice was the target guy. But anyway, Russ, I'm going to show my age real quick. I'm pretty sure that you just created the next generation of woozles when you went Judel. Did you remember that? With like Ellaroo and Bumbleian. Yes. Yeah. So Judel is the next generation of woozles. Kids, look it up if you don't
really
know.
Weird Alabama jersey.
Yeah.
Hey, Super Cooper, you can ask the same question as many times as you want. It doesn't matter. If you didn't hear the answer, you can ask it again.
Forever.
It's fine. It's what we're here for. It's what makes our Wednesday nights fun and my week, frankly, more enjoyable. So I appreciate you asking. Should he trade Tyreek Hill now that he's with the Dolphins? I think his value is going to remain stable. I think if you can't, I mean, you should always get good trades if you're going to trade away a player. So if you get a good trade on Tyreek Hill, yeah. But I'm no more inclined to.
Do you think he has the same ceiling in Miami that he did in...
I don't. Because Patrick Mahomes is better than pick any quarterback in the NFL. Enter that name here.
Josh Allen.
Yes, I still think.
Yeah,
I still think he's a better quarterback. I mean, even though Josh Allen is great, like, and for fantasy, he's on par. I think in the NFL, I think.
Do you think Herbert's close, talent-wise?
Ish. I don't think he processes like Mahomes does.
No, I'm legitimately asking.
I think. I mean, like Arm talent wise, yeah, he's on par, but I don't think he processes like Mahomes does. And Mahomes has flaws. I mean, you've seen Mahomes have bad games, but ultimately, I think, man, Patrick Mahomes does things that nobody else in the NFL does.
Was it like last year or 2 years ago where an article came out where there was an interview with Mahomes and he's just like, I just found out that you can read defenses.
I've just been like beating them naturally. It turns out it can be a lot easier.
By accident, I've just been getting lucky this whole time. Right. And we're just like, oh damn, that's not good for the NFL.
It's like when the
there's room to grow.
When the hitter finally starts to like understand the pitching process and what a pitcher's trying to do to them, and then you can guess pitches. It's a similar thing where it's like, oh, okay, here we go now. But
okay, so yes, the NFL. Answer is if you on your team, this is a complete bad statement, but if you feel like you need that top wide receiver 1 to 3 production, you're not going to get that from Hill anymore. So if you think that is the reason to trade him away, only if you can still get the value of that wide receiver 1 to 3, because if it gets any lower, you're trading Hill at a lower value that you might not really need to, in which case maybe you just keep Hill because he's still going to produce.
I was just copying your trade tactic. Let me ask you this question as the expert trader in the room. Is this not, in fact, a bad time to send offers with Hill? Because then whoever gets it thinks you're trying to get out and they think they can try and get a value. Whereas if there was positive news, they'd be like, oh, well, this guy's, maybe I should pay up.
It depends. Okay, so if you are a Bosch disciple where you are not talking to people, you're just sending offers. Right. I think the worst thing you can do is send an offer that is like paying way too much for Hill, because they're just going to be like, no, you're crazy. You're trying to increase his price. Like if you're trading Hill away right now, you need to feel that vulnerability when you're hitting that submit button. You have to be like, is this something I would trade Hill for? And then end up feeling like, no, okay, I will. Like that's how you're going to have to feel, because if you do anything other than that, people are just going to be like, no, he's trying to sell Hill for what he's not worth anymore, and I'm not going to bother. And again, very individual based, and all I could do is speak to what I think the average response would be, but I think that's really what it is. If you are now trying to move Hill, you do one of two things just to cover your ass. Go into the chat. I'm bored. I want to go trade Hill. No, I'm not going to I'm not going to accept a low ball. Let's see what we can do if there's anyone that actually wants him. And you'll still get low offers. You'll still get the same thing you would have anyway, but
set the tone.
That's really what it's about.
The cool thing about low offers, though, is you have this little button when you get a trade and it says reject trade, and you can just do that. Okay, that one didn't work.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying if you are again, Bosch doesn't talk about value. He'll send a trade and he says, your response is the accept or the reject. And that's how you tell me what you think
literally
of the value.
sends you what he will do.
I'm similar to that, but
I
know you and I go back, like you send me one and I'm like, no. And you're like, I'm like, I didn't do it for me. I'll send you again. No,
I'm going to finish this. Then I have a funny Bosch story. And then if you are just going off of send and reject or send and counter, I think the best thing you can do process-wise is be realistic with the value of Tyreek Hill and not say, I want to get wide receiver 3 prices for him, because you're not going to, unless there's that dude who's just the Tyreek guy. So in the Outhouse Challenge I did at the beginning of the month, I got Bosch sent me a trade where I got Hurts and he got Tua. And he did this to mess with me because he knew Hurts was going to win and he knows I like Tua more. And the second the trade went through, he offered me Tua for Hurts and like the 1-0 something. And I'm like, you SOB. No. Out of principle, no.
Okay, Rob on Twitter's got a question before I forget. He's phrased it interestingly. That's why I know that, but he's phrased it interestingly. That's why I'm bringing it in. He says, since it is believed that this draft is weak, not committing himself to the opinion, which I appreciate. Like, I'm always saying what other people think. It's a lot easier than saying what you think. What should he try to target in a trade? He currently holds the 105 and the 112. So it's another, who do you target if you have those two picks? Who's the highest player you go after? It's probably Jalen Waddle, right?
It's funny that he's our baseline now, but yeah, it's probably a little low, but DK. Oh man, if I can get Higgins for that,
DK, Debo, Higgins, yeah, right in that
area,
that range, yeah.
And then yesterday or today, I can't remember. Whenever the Hill thing happens, my mind is mush. He sends me Tua for Hurts, the 104, the 109, and every 23, 24 pick I have. And I'm just like, well, first I hit reject. And then I'm just like, in the group chat, I just go, John, ... I think we need to talk about this.
That's another one. You said 105 and 110? Yeah. I might package those and try to get up to like 102.
Go get Brees?
Yeah, try to get Brees Hall. Package those and get 102.
Yeah.
I would feel great about that.
Send him the names, but yeah, the 102 would be interesting. Trying to package up to go up, that'd be interesting. Yeah. I think that's the advantage of, we're all saying everyone thinks this class is weak. I've said it. I've tried to describe what I think of it as well, but I think the advantage is people hear that and think depth instead of shallow, instead of a scarcity. And I think going up right now is actually a move. I'm getting a lot of trades where people want more later picks because they're worried about the homogeny and the depth. Right. Whereas that makes me think that people are willing to let you go up into that top 4 range.
Well, yeah, and that's what I've been saying is and 2019 was the same way for me. Was those are classes where I'm moving up to take the players that I like because everybody else is like, wow, this class is deep, and I'm like, no, it's again, and I think I said this last week on this show, or maybe I said it to J Mike, but it's this class is deep, but when I think about this class being deep, it's the Jeff Goldblum GIF where he walks up to the big pile of dinosaurs and he takes off his glasses. Yeah, that's how deep this class is.
I'll say because he won't. That is one big pile of shit.
All right, I'll let him know that too. Joe, who actually, had the tenacity, the wherewithal, the handsomeness to actually be in here to ask us questions, which we appreciate. Olave has many strengths to him, but he can't make anybody miss when he has the ball.
I agree with that, but he's getting over the top an awful lot too. Like he's not a great middle of the field player, which is why I think you play him on the outside.
What do you think about Patrick Mahomes for Derek Carr, the 102, and what should be an early 23 first?
It's pretty close though.
I just take the good player.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at. I pulled up TA6 before. I don't remember why. Oh, because we were talking about trading for Tua, and I knew Jesse was trying to trade Tua, so I went and pulled up his team. So I had it up, and for some reason, I went to look at the draft to see who had the 102, and it was Shane, and he's rebuilding, so it would be a tough sell anyway. But I know he's a sucker for Mahomes, or like those top QBs.
No.
So I'm just looking to see what he has. I mean, I would rather have Carr over Cousins at this point because I think Carr is cheaper, but their outcome might be the same.
I know he might be interested in that. I mean, Holmes is a pretty safe thing to roster if you're building. He can go get what he likes for that.
Yeah, exactly. But he doesn't have like a single actual player on his team that I want.
Yeah, that'd be the problem.
Alejandro,
Zach, did you say this? Thank you, Alejandro. I forgot how to say it again. Jefferson or DK in the 109? I would take Jefferson there.
Yeah, I think so too.
What would that pick have to be?
Higher.
No, well, yeah. Thanks.
It would have to be 2.
It would. Yeah,
like if it was super flex, would you send away Jefferson for DK in the 101?
No, I want a second. Like I need a higher pick, and I need that 109.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Yeah. That's kind of where I was going.
I'm not sure I would in this class, man. I like again.
Yeah, I get it.
And I like the idea of Malik Willis, but there's still a fairly substantial chance that he falls on his face.
Like at least in 2019, we had Kyler. Like that's
almost
really
like Trey Lance.
We could say.
But he doesn't say whether this is super flex even. So it's
if it's
even
one QB,
harder.
The difference though, Peter, is there's a lot less chance of Malik Willis falling on his face if he goes top 3.
Well, he'll get more chance to keep falling.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So, and if he gets on the field, he's going to score like Trey Lance with his 27 points a game or whatever it was. I forget.
It was like 22.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see that Jimmy Garoppolo trade go down. Nick Eve, which side? Trevor Lawrence in the 22 first and a 23 first, or Watson?
The Lawrence side with all the picks, even though Watson's the better quarterback.
Top 5 upside really doesn't matter, but just stick. Yeah, I'd probably just take Lawrence side.
What do you think the points per game difference is really going to be? Is it going to be more than
top 5
4?
at quarterback does matter?
It's going to be a lot.
It's
like, do you really need to be like 6 points? Like, is it going to be that big of a difference?
That's why Watson gets in this. He's one of the quarterbacks who's proved he can have difference-making points per game compared to. But I get. I'm willing to do.
Is like we should know that pick. Like we should know that number.
Yeah, the 22 first.
That matters. Actually, that does matter. That does matter.
But
Frolicking Heifer. That's just good.
Okay.
That's just good. Keep them coming.
That seems like a generic name where you sign up for something and it just like it blings you a name. Like
no, when you go into Google Sheets and you know the anonymous user,
badger.
A wild turkey appeared or whatever. I don't know why I'm on turkeys and chickens today. Where do you all answer questions from?
From my dining room.
I'm in the basement.
I guess it's an office. Kentucky.
What do you do?
I guess.
YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter.
I go on the DLF forum a lot now. I've been making it a regular thing
for the show.
Oh yeah. We're on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, 2 different channels. 9:30 Wednesday.
I would say you have found it.
Yeah, because we're answering your question now.
You have found it.
I know there's so many different ways to answer that. I think he's just thrown that grenade and been like, "Oh God, there's so many different ways."
He just wants to talk about his name.
Honestly, I'm happy with that. Lewis, what is Cooper's?
Hold it for 2 seconds. Hold him value right now. Cooper's value right now.
Cooper Cup. I'm assuming it's Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
We talked about this on the DLF trade show that's going to be out tomorrow. Me and Addison and I. Yeah.
Yes, I talked about it.
Yeah. That was just so wrong. And I was like, no, wait, I got to try that again. Yeah, Addison and I talked about this because we talked about a trade that was Cooper, the 209 and a 23 for Cooper for the 209 and the 23 second. Holy shit, talk. Amari Cooper for the 209 and a 23 second in a 12-team Superflex league.
I still want Cooper.
I wanted
Cooper's value is too low. That's the answer. It's too low.
Honestly, that might actually 2 seconds might be his value, but the 209 was iffy for me. But you're not getting a first for Cooper anymore.
That's fine. I'll have him die on my roster and be great with Deshaun Watson. I don't care.
No, absolutely. So I'm saying, realistically, 2 seconds is what you would probably get. If you are not happy with that, then you hold.
Who was the NFL wide receiver who was throwing shade at the Amari Cooper value? Because I can't remember if it was DK or it might have been even Jamar Chase, and he literally called him the best route runner in the NFL. And I was like, that's a pretty good source to remember, and I forgot it. One of our bays, the top 5 dynasty wide receiver was Amari Cooper is the best route runner in the NFL. This trade is trash.
I don't think.
And I was like, I'm gonna remember that, and I didn't. Gonna have to go look it up.
You didn't remember who said it,
but yeah. And I was talking about this with who was it? No, that's a separate thing. That wasn't a podcast. That was a different kind of Zoomy call. People underrate Amari Cooper. They think a player that level comes around way too often. That's what we're talking about with this class. There's going to be 2, maybe, and one of them's probably going to be a value because we didn't see him coming. Amari Cooper's an amazing NFL player. He's underrated. His value is probably 1 first-round pick, which is why someone's trying to 2-second you, and that's not the same thing. And also, just keep Amari Cooper even for that first-round pick. So yeah. He's a red duck. G Money, 12-team Superflex. Is there any value to Mitch Trubisky? Some, probably not enough in a Superflex right now. I mean, there's potential to score you points. Do you think he has a chance to go more than a year? No, I don't. Which is why it's hard to get him a value.
If they don't end up drafting someone this year, they will draft someone next year. So
if he lasts the year, and Mitch Trubisky can make you tear your hair out. Let's not forget that. But yeah, I think he's going to score points. I think he might have some value if someone in your league is willing to admit that. Yeah. Anything else? Nope. Hernandez family. Rid of the next Russ.
People keep saying that.
I don't know.
No, there is no next me. I'm me.
That's factually correct.
Outhouse.
Brian, Cuba. I paid for a super chat. Do you guys respond to super chats? New to you guys. I think
we did.
Yeah, we went.
We were a little behind, but we did, Brian. Sorry.
And I forgot to mention it at the time. Really do appreciate when people do that. We have yet to figure out where that money goes because we don't make a lot of it, so it's not showing up anywhere. But we answer everyone as quickly as we can. We don't prioritize based on super chats because this isn't meant to be a like you have to pay to get your question answers. If we can stay awake long enough, we'll answer everyone. You do have to wait. That's the backhanded nature of that. But we really do appreciate it, man, because I appreciate the support.
Wow.
If nothing else.
We are
just to be clear.
We're back.
Yep. We're a little behind. Zach's doing his job. And yeah, if you regret doing the super checks, you thought I'd get you priority, I guess hit me up. I'll send you.
We'll trade you a third round
back. I send you that $2 back. I don't mind to. I don't know where it goes. I assume it's to the DLF account since that's probably the main channel. But we've never made more than $2, so I don't think they ever would have noticed.
We absolutely did. You lied.
Joe. Okay, sorry, I apologize. Joe Herbert and Chris Sims QB rankings. Coral. I'm assuming these are quarterbacks in this class because I don't recognize their names. Coral Pickens, Willis, Hal Ridder. The only rankings of this that I pay attention to.
I don't pay attention to Chris Sims quarterback.
I know Willis is probably one because I hear about him a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Willis is going to... If this were 10 years ago, no one would want Willis. It's the fact that we're in the age of rushing quarterbacks that Willis will get boosted. But
Dynasty Outhouse has both Marcus Brown and Terry McLaurin on the waiver on the trade bait in my league. I never thought I'd see the day he hated them that bad.
I think I went through every league and put every player worth a dang on my trade baits because I was bored.
You must have.
Yeah. I still really like Howell just because we have this weird thing of the what have you done for me in the past 6 minutes where Howell was really, really, really good. And then his team went away, but he was still there. And he didn't do well his last year. So all of a sudden he's bad. And that's not how that goes. So I still really do like Howell. Everyone has Matt Corral higher up. He can have small hands, so he might as well switch to wide receiver.
I normally play quarterbacks this year, but even in listening to the people who evaluate quarterbacks and like them a lot and talk, I'm getting the sense I don't want any of these quarterbacks. Willis, maybe. It just doesn't seem like a strong year. Not one to gamble on unless you feel pretty good about your process or you have someone that you fully trust. And I don't have people that I listen to and strongly respect, but no one that I think's got like the golden key. Bob Kilchrist, fire up Winston, Mariota talk, some dynasty division. God, we're far behind. Yeah. Yep. Can't wait to do that, Bob. Time check. It's 10:09. No, it's not. It's 11:04. Appreciate you. 104 or Tyreek Hill? Tyreek
Hill.
Trader Joe put out a poll. Who will have more targets in 2022? Travis Kelce or Kyle Pitts?
I said Kelce.
I'm voting Kelce. Kelce was winning.
Connor LaPlante, do you guys talk about a guy named Juju yet? No, never heard of him. Yes. That's a friend of mine, Connor. I talked about him on the Crossroads this week. This is a guy I was probably a little hard on. Yep. Frolicking Heifer at Bob Mariota. I like Frolicking Heifer. He just throws an occasional comment to us, to Bob. It's cool. Local liability. What's the value of Chark and Rondell Moore? Rondell Moore?
Yeah.
Chark has not.
I mean, more like I'm trying to figure like what's in between them. Like Moore is absolutely higher to me. I mean,
I would trade Chark for whatever I can get.
Yeah,
I've
like
traded
third, Moore's worth a higher
more
second to me. So
in two
like,
different leagues for a second. So I think that's a value. I know you love Chark. Just say it.
DJ Chark. Oh yeah, and I also yelled at you on the DLF trade show for that, Zach.
Oh, nice.
I appreciate it.
I think you just do that every week.
I yell at Zach. Well, when he's not around, I yell at Zach as much as possible because I can't do it to him.
You could. I have thick skin.
No, and I just like personally, I can't do it. Like I like you too much. I can't do that.
And we was 26. Would you guys trade the 204, the 212, Troutman, and the 105?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
bag of stuff for
yeah.
the 104. Yes. Or keep the picks. Like I want. The
I would trade that for the 201.
On the 104. Sorry. Yeah.
Take the 105.
This is a draft class you go up in.
Like it could be a 4 tight end and I'm still trading Troutman, the 204 and the 212 for the 105.
Yeah,
you trade that bag as maybe very small boats for a boat or the 104, whatever. Yeah, do that. AJ Dillon, 22 108 for Swift.
I want more than that for Swift.
Yeah, Swift should get you more than that, but I like where your head's at.
Yeah.
Weaves. No, I meant resign. DK is actually going to start gambling on Twitch as well. Gaming on Twitch. He's tired of Pete. I think we all are. Yeah. I would pay to watch that stream too. Brian, how'd you get your question answered? I'm sorry, Brian. We're sorry. I'm moving as fast as I can. We just go literally the order they turn up in the chat, and we're going through 3 different platforms, so it can take a second. Feel free to ask and then listen back later on YouTube if you have to. I apologize strongly. Frolic Hefner, Brian, I don't know. Yeah, everyone's just wondering why we're so far behind. I think they just
we are behind.
It's part of it out.
It's part of the
I'm
charm.
New to this stream. Hopefully it's charming. At least it's democratic, I guess, to some extent. We don't know how to do any better. We're learning. Okay, we just look, there's a question and we answer it. What's the lowest NFL draft capital Howard needs to get to be a Superflex rookie draft first round pick?
First round.
Andrew Carlson, 12-team PPR, 1 QB league, start 10. Which side do you like? The 101, the 107, and the 112, or the 102 and the 104? 102 and 104.
Yep.
Also, you get the 202. I didn't even get to that, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I want as many picks in the top 4 as possible in this particular class, if I get that choice. Caleb, how you doing? Got a fun one. This is 1 QB league that will move to Superflex next season. That's always a rough transition, in my opinion. But it's good to see your league likes each other enough that the likes playing together enough that trying to stick through instead of just start a new one. And I'm a top contender. I give Jefferson, Rondell, Baker, and I get Watson, DK, McLaurin. That's tough.
Close, but I think you're doing better with the Watson side.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, definitely Watson side, but Jefferson gave me pause.
Yep.
You're getting Rondell. 3 very
good players. Yeah.
Yep. For Rondell and Baker, Jefferson. Who, sorry, Zach, Rondell might not be a thing.
Great.
He should be. Yeah. He's good enough to be, but a lot has to happen for him to really factor into the value of that side of the trade with those guys coming back. Okay, would you trade the 203, a 23 first and second for Zach Wilson, Brandon Ayuk, and Allen Robinson on a very bad team?
Probably, and then I'd turn around and trade Wilson for something else.
So you want the 23 first isn't enough for you to hold out, and
I mean, you're getting a quarterback, which is probably worth a first. You can go get that 23 first back for Wilson pretty close.
What happened when I traded my first to you in Olympians?
Yeah, that's different.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Because this is Jesse trying to trade with me in Olympians for my 23 first.
Yeah.
Michael asks, I have.
Oh, is it the one?
It's the one where I traded you the 22 first and ended up being the 101.
Yeah.
I have Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, Davis Mills, Daniel Jones, Taysom Hill. Yeah, I see no reason to do that.
Tyreek, Waddle, Juju in my
Dynasty League. I have an offer for the 101 and the 301 for Waddle.
That's like
super flex for me. If it's super flex, maybe.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a light for Waddle.
If you don't believe in Waddle, even if it's just in this situation, I would do that because the 101 is such an easy piece to move. Like with a player, it's so specific to have to find a player a team in the right position for that position, and that someone who likes that player. With the 101, you have at least half the league that's just like, okay, I'll listen for the 101.
I'd probably keep Waddle, but I think it's very fair.
I would rather have Waddle, I'll be honest. But like if you're out on Waddle, I think for the 101.
If you're out on Waddle, yeah. That's your call. You get to make the call. Scuva, I guess. You take this. Justin Jefferson, gladly take Willis or Brees, and then snag best player available at 110. I think he's answering someone else's great question.
Cooper 110. Cooper 102 and the 110.
Yeah, we just take so long to start answering themselves. It's really that's really the key. Tanner Morris, trade Kelsey for Pollard and the 2023 first, probably late. I mean, a first for Kelsey is probably as good as getting if you want to trade him.
That's what you're getting, but I would rather just it looks like you're rebuilding, in which case go for it, man. But I those points, man.
Yeah. I now have 4. For what?
Firsts.
4 firsts. Oh, right. Yeah, that's probably as good as you're getting for Kelsey if you're looking to rebuild. Yeah. James Vincent, advice for a rebuild team, but feel like your veteran pieces are undervalued relative to your. Yeah, I find myself in that situation a lot. Too many Amari Coopers. It's tough to get more value, but you think you've got good points. What would you do, Zach?
Target again. Maybe at this point you're targeting the 24 class, where those are the undervalued picks, and trying to get, if you're in a rebuild, let's go for it. And
if you go listen to the Trade Addicts podcast, you'll hear me and the brilliant JJ Zacharyson. Oh yeah, Rocky was there also. Because someone did ask this question where if you're rebuilding, do you completely avoid any trade coming your way where there's an agent player on it? And the answer is, if your league is active enough and if you think that player will gain value, or at least you can do better. Like if someone 3 days ago traded you Leonard Fournette for like the 210, you take that trade because by the time the season starts, you're going to get an early second for him. Like I would rather take a 23 second over this year's 210. So if you can get a 23 second when the season starts, that's an absolute win for just holding on to a guy for 5 months. Yeah. So
just to point out, you've got Boyd on the list though, and Boyd is barely worth a third right now. I know because I'm shilling out thirds for Boyd.
Yeah, Boyd should not be on that list of people. But even though I do love him, but don't not get people on your team, because especially in the non-point scoring season, it's about value. Age plays into value, but it's not a reason to not have a guy on your team.
Yeah, if it's a rebuild, you get to ignore stuff. That's the value of it. It's just, am I getting more value? Is my value is X, I want X plus, and I'm going to try and turn that X plus into X plus plus. And so you just play it that way.
And the other thing that you can do with something like that is go look at the players that you have rostered, the players that you listed in whatever ADP you're using. Go look at DLF's March ADP. Look at players that are around that value or a little lower that are younger that you think will increase in value or get better, and do that.
Yeah. John O2, redraft PPR. Rank these 3 wide receivers: Gallup, Robinson, Juju. Juju, Gallup, Robinson. That's obviously where I'm at.
Well, I think
my brain hurts.
Robinson and
that's Allen Robinson, right?
Yeah, must be. I think I'd have Robinson, Juju, Gallup here in redraft PPR.
I get it.
Yeah, only with Gallup hurt is like you're saying that I would take Robinson because I think the production's going to be there right away.
Yeah.
But value-wise,
it doesn't matter because it's redraft.
Oh, he said redraft. My bad.
Yeah.
I apologize.
I've been too many times Robinson.
Robinson, Juju, Gallup.
Haters. Kamara on the 105, the 23 first, and the 102.
I would absolutely trade Kamara on the 105 for the 102 and the 23 first.
Yeah. It sucks as well because Kamara's going to be good again. Juju Ayuk in ninth round of a starter.
Juju over Ayuk.
Just when I started to hate you guys. Yeah.
Hey, Joe.
Joe.
I love how people.
She was probably in here an hour ago, and we just did.
It was only 45. It was 45 minutes.
Oh, we're catching up.
Did not mean to ask that question twice. You good, Frank? We're lucky if we get towards it. So ask.
That's what slowed us down, Frank.
Yeah. That was really the problem, not anything to do with us. Tanner Morris, I picked up an orphan team and have no draft picks. That sucks.
Wow.
But have Jonathan Taylor. Oh, you're good. Should I look to move him for picks? I need to know the rest of your roster, to be honest with you.
No,
But if you're saying Jonathan Taylor is all you have, yes, you trade him.
Man, my brain is not moving at the same speed as my mouth tonight.
Interesting.
Yes, you trade Jonathan Taylor, and the real answer is you say tier down. No, you do not get a running back. You do not get a running back, and just get whatever the heck you can.
Yeah,
mostly wide receiver and picks. Or
you
just
should be getting 3 firsts value easy.
So easy. Like people are like, oh yeah, he got just dishing him out their pocket like
he is the RB1, regardless that RB1 this year means nothing against what the RB1 meant 2 years ago, but he's still the RB1, and that comes with an inherent value. So,
Joe's just come in here to throw a hand grenade at us. Appreciate it. Rojo visited the Chiefs today, I believe.
At least you don't have to worry about pass catching.
There you go. You don't have to ask that question. John Bosch, FF, believe I've heard of him. Losing Tyreek just means he vacates more targets than anyone can pick him.
I mean, he did move closer to.
He didn't even pay money to get me to say that.
It's vacation targets.
Vacation targets.
Will Juju be the wide receiver 1 for the Chiefs this season?
Tyreek,
I'm going to say yes.
Travis Kelce will be.
Yeah, Kelce.
Juju. Screw you all. Waddle for the 101.
I'd rather have the 101. But
it's honestly, I think that's the right value.
Yeah.
So whatever.
It's the right value. I lean Waddle. Like I know what he is.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's what
it's a boat for a maybe boat, even if it's a very good maybe boat. You know,
Waddle's absolutely a boat.
Boat sails all over the world. Would you trade Tyreek for DK in a second? Yes, I think I might. And that's weird. That's probably not the right answer, but I think I might.
No, I don't mind that because I don't mind that. I think Tyreek Hill's overall ceiling probably comes down a little bit. I think DK is going to have a gross year next year, but it doesn't matter because he's still young and will hold value. I think I'd rather have DK in the second. It's gross.
If you can make it 2 seconds, I feel better about it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you can get more, get more. Juju Ayuk. I mean, I'm leaning Juju But
did we not answer this already?
Yeah, we did.
Somewhere. Yeah, I think it was someone else.
Yeah, because we said Juju, and you're like, just when I started to hate you.
Sorry, Heather. David Ross, 22, 112, very last pick in a 1 QB or Allen Robinson. Why not? Allen Robinson. Why not? My team is semi-competitive. Definitely Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson. Like, what the hell's the 112 in a 1 QB league? Like, that's going to be very.
Where someone drafted Elijah Mitchell.
I mean, it's going to be like
there will be someone, but
it's going to be like them is one spot back from 112 in a super flex.
Yeah. How worried are you guys about Lance's development of the foot? I am more significantly concerned than most. We've been.
Is it a reluctance to trade Jimmy G?
No, it's a reluctance for the. It's like what Baker said. That there is a mutual aversion or whatever it was that he said that nobody wants to trade for Garoppolo, and I don't think Garoppolo's particularly interested in working on leaving, so he's making a pretty good chunk of change.
It's not the 49ers reluctancy to trade him.
No.
They have, from what I heard, they want a first for him, which is crazy, but maybe that is them pricing people out while lying and saying he's on the block, but I don't know.
I think it's I'm just gonna stick with my line. I think there's more concern with Lance, whether they're trading Jimmy or not, than most will factor into his value because of his upside. But as Zach's continually pointed out, that upside is probably worth it. I am concerned though. Michael Charles, hey, we got 199. Appreciate that. Offered 101 for the 301 for Waddle. Good deal. I have Hill. I think that's about where the value line's coming on.
I think we talked about this exact same offer.
Yeah. You have to offer the 101 to get him. And I want Waddle for that. So I think that value's fine.
And I would be fine. That jerk Bosch. Yes.
John called.
Oh man, was John listening when I told the story about him? That's awesome.
Alex, DK for a second for Tyreek.
What's going on? Is this Groundhog Day? Like
Groundhog? He's answering the question, dude. No, he was answering the question.
All day yesterday.
The question all day yesterday.
DK side, Joannis. Peter, Russ was telling a story. I know people are getting mad over here. I'm just trying to move it along. I'm just trying to be a showrunner. I'm not very good at it. And Russ hates me already, so it doesn't really affect me. What's the value of Mike Williams? I don't know. First round pick, late first round pick. No,
early second.
I still don't want him. Yeah, that's low.
I love me, Mike Williams, but
I know you do.
The reality is he's not worth the first anymore.
David is talking to Jesse, so we can leave that one alone. Someone's talking to me. It was AJ Brown that.
Yes, it was. I looked that up too.
Yep. Fournette, the 112 Juju for CMC, fair trade. Fournette's in Dynasty. I think people are going to miss that play. I think Fournette's going to do well again. Tom Brady's back. And Fournette immediately ran back to the team, was like, I didn't mean to unsign that contract.
He spied on good reasons for a day and then went back.
Like he flirted with it. Like seriously, how quick did they run back? I would have sprinted personally. But CMC is just different. He's just different.
I'd be fine.
CMC side.
CMC. And I don't even like.
I think it's pretty fair. I think it's pretty even.
It kind of is, but like,
it's fair.
CMC obviously has the highest upside of anything in any piece in this trade. Football. But I think if you're talking about what I believe they will score this year, I think Fournette and CMC is pretty close. And I don't mind having Juju as a wide receiver too, and the 112. So I think it's pretty fair.
For me to personally do this trade, if I'm the CMC manager, I would just want someone who on Juju's level, but we've seen do well. Like Juju is going to a new team and he was hurt last year, so that worries me a little bit. If you can give me someone of the same value of Juju who's staying on their team and did well last season, then I would feel much better about it. It's just that if I'm selling what CMC is when he's healthy and we're not going to predict injuries, I want a little bit more safety production than that.
Yeah,
G-Money also knew who that quote was from, so you're better than me. I get it, and I really appreciate you letting me know, actually, because I never would have figured that out. And yeah, that seems like a good review from an interesting source. Personally.
They could have told us half an hour ago, though, when you were looking like
what the hell, man?
They
what the hell, guys?
Man, they did. 4th and 1. Is Willis still the 102 in a 10-team superflex? I think he's a 101 in a superflex, especially 10-team.
Depends on the person.
If the draft goes as we expect. I keep seeing this conversation on Twitter, though, Zach, and I still don't know where I'm coming out on it. Do you take Hall over a quarterback in a superflex this year?
Again, I'm still on. We haven't had the draft yet, so I don't know if Malik Willis goes in the early first to a team that doesn't have a quarterback and is going to play. Then yes, I'm going to take Malik Willis. If not, then I don't have any issue taking Breece Hall, especially if my team is set with quarterback. I'd rather have the sure thing. I'd rather have the top 10 running back.
Yeah, I'm kind of evading it until the draft as well. With the theory is you take the quarterback. You should take the quarterback, but this year it's a good question to ask.
Absolutely.
That's kind of where I'm at. CMC owner is saying he would rather have CMC over Najee because of his ceiling. How should I handle this kind of owner? Clearly thinking more redraft than dynasty. It's a running back, man. He's right. He should want CMC over Najee, unless his team sucks, in which case he shouldn't want another running back. And you should be happy having Najee, frankly.
But if you know I think the last sentence is the real kicker, though. How should I handle this kind of owner who clearly thinking more redraft than dynasty? And so make a note of that. And if they continue to think that way, then you start looking at trading them the older productive veterans to get.
I was going to say, it seems more like to me you want to know how to change his mind, and the answer is that's how he wants to play it. That's the thing with Dynasty. We can say this guy's a value, but if he's not in your league, he's not.
Yeah,
it's just not.
But
it sucks. Trust me, it sucks. Marcus Brown is on Dynasty Outhouse's roster in a lot of places, and it makes it awkward for me. So is Juju, and your league changes things.
But yeah, that's why psychology and playing the people in your league is such an advantage, because not everybody does that. And if you go follow Leo Pasiga, who is at Siga, is it FF or underscore FF?
There's a Siga P, or there's a P in there, isn't it? Or is it just Siga FF?
I'm gonna go look it up now.
I'm looking it up now. It's Siga underscore FF.
Yeah, there it is.
And he's retiring.
But no, there's someone with the last name for Siga. That's why I'm putting it in there.
So go follow Leo, and if you feel like it, come follow and listen to the Dynasty Dummies podcast. Go back and listen to because we have a lot of evergreen shows where I talk about the psychology of it and keeping tabs on keeping a notebook on your league mates, so you can exploit just exactly this trait.
I think that's the thing to take away. Now you know something about that owner, and so if you see, honestly, Godwin in season should be scoring points, but you also know Tom Brady's time's limited, or Evans, if you don't want to go back to my Chris Godwin concern. And then you know an owner in your league who might be more willing to play it more redraft. And yeah, Zach's right. That's the edge there. Michael Carter, I suck at that edge, by the way, which is why I always forget it. Michael Carter, it means making notes and keeping track of people's names instead of their avatars. Yeah, that's literally the guy. Have you never seen a picture of him?
I'm such a big fan. Such a big fan.
Just fangle away. It's fine. Yesterday, I offered Wentz on the 211 for Carr. Trying to buy low. I like it. Guy counted with Tua, the 210, and the 401. For Carr, I'd probably rather Tua, but
easily Tua.
Carr's gonna have a good year, I think.
The value is still
He's
Tua.
Supported 2 top 24 wide receivers before. He's a little undervalued right now. This guy's pretty smart though with his counter. I'd probably
finish the question though.
Oh, I didn't decline it and accepted after the Hill trade. Is that scummy, or is his fault for leaving it up? How quickly did you accept it?
Can I have another story?
Yeah, you can. I don't have a hard and fast rule. I just try and play nice, but you go.
So this happened to me in 2 leagues with Deshaun Watson and once with Aaron Rodgers because I forget that I offer trades. And
I do. I send them and then I just
And the second the news broke, bing. Oh, what? Email? What? Trade accepted? What? Cool. I just traded Watson for Carson Wentz in a 23 first. Listening to that is the actual trade. Listening to Commission Impossible, where that question was asked, and hearing Scott and Ryan both be like, look, that's shitty. You shouldn't do it. That person should be shamed for it, and I don't want to play in leagues with those people. And in my head, I'm just like, do I send that sound clip to the specific person I'm thinking of right now who bragged in the league chat after he did it?
I mean, it's a little shitty. I try and play nice because I'm a fool, really. But if it's the rules are the rules. If you don't want it to be the rule, you can make a league in your rule that says if a transaction happens in the NFL and the trade was offered before the transaction, then it's null and void until both parties agree again. I've seen people do that.
Then clearly,
and maybe you should petition to do that. But
so here's my thought, though, is the leagues I play in for the people. And generally, I'm not playing in leagues where that's an issue. Where if I have a trade offered like that and somebody could accept it, they would probably say, hey, do you still want to do this trade?
Exactly. That's what I would do.
That's the way I would. And I would say if this happened to me, I'd be like, fine, it's part of Dynasty. And I would never consider a trade from that person again because I'm also a vindictive little bitch and I am not ashamed of it. Like, that's Michael, the thing you should know about me, Michael. Like, if you did that to me, you would never get a trade with me again. And it's not like you've done something against, and I would fully be like, no, it's fine. And it would be no hard feelings. But I'm a vindictive a little bit. Like, I want to stick it back to you. And that's probably the route I would go.
But the other thing is you should have snap accepted the 211 and 401
probably beforehand,
yeah.
But I don't judge people on what they do. It's fantasy football. Unless there's a lot of money in the league. Like Joe is in here and she only plays in, she's told us, in FFPC leagues where there's a lot of money on the line because she's fancy and cool. And that's a different ball game. I play in smaller stakes leagues. I play mostly with my friends. And so, there's a little back and forth. Like someone might stick it to me with accepting a trade, and I'd stick it back to him by like literally turning down good trades after that. And because that's fun. And if you're playing for like serious stakes, that's more scummy. But that, again, if it's not against the rules in that serious of a league, he should have been paying more attention. And there should be maybe a petition to put that rule into your league. But that's a different kind of game. I'm talking more about mine. Like Zach was saying, mostly playing with people I like, even if they get one over on me sometimes. I'm probably just going to laugh. It's fine.
But also, especially given the time of the year it is, like, let's say that literally did just happen. You go to your commish, they put a vote. You can pass that right away. Like, you don't need to wait. Like, this is not something you have to do next season. That's the kind of rule you can just put in place.
I would say it does not retcon the trade. That I would, even if it was me, I'd say, look, I know I can't retcon this. The rule wasn't in effect. Again, if someone else can play now, I'm going to play how I play. And that would be to, I think Tanner Morris is, it's his fault. It's fine point too. You play how you want to play. If it's a more serious league, then you approach it slightly differently. What do I need to add to the 104 to move up to the 102? Not much, really. Honestly, that's a
start with the 109. He said he's got the 109, the 201. If you got to throw both of those, I'm fine with that also.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to.
Strong,
but if you, just to get that. Yes.
It's your league. How you want? Like if you're John Bosch, you just throw the 109. I'm gonna offer the best I'm gonna offer. If you want to try and piece it out, you can offer the 102.
The Chiefs are inquiring with the Jags about Laviska Shenault.
Just keep pushing that Juju value down, baby.
But like, why go for that kind of player right now?
I don't know. The Chiefs are not great at this. Like they got lucky with Hill.
Weird. All right, I saw it. And I needed to say something.
But no, that's interesting. Claypool, Ayuk, Amon-Ra, rank them in Dynasty.
The reverse that you have them. I want Amon-Ra, Ayuk, Claypool.
I think Ayuk, Amon-Ra, Claypool. But Ayuk and Amon-Ra, I like them both. Ayuk's going to have more value, though, so I gave it to him.
I like Amon-Ra for the production safety. Ayuk because And Ayuk and Claypool are like the same exact thing at this point.
So,
they need a situation change.
Ayuk's good. Claypool's kind of a one-hit wonder.
But so Peter, you can't be concerned. Well, I guess you can be if you think Garoppolo is going to be there forever, but you can't be concerned about Lance and really confident in Ayuk, because if Lance comes in and is not a great passer, then Ayuk tanks a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, players can have down years. He's young. He's fine. I'm convinced from what I've seen of him in the NFL that his production will come back. I mean, I'm still riding Juju, man.
Yeah.
I can hang on for a long time, but I get your point. And also, that's true. He would go down because Lance would need to be able to ride his skill set, because as long as Samuel's there, he's not going to get the easier targets. That's fair. Good point. 4th and 1. Props to Peter. I asked about Chark and the players, and he said sell for a second, and I haven't looked back.
Peter tap tip.
Appreciate it, man. I said that 3 years ago, dude. But sometimes holding the same opinion really works. West Coast Chiefer. 12-team Superflex PPR. Pitts or Fairmouth and the 106 and the 23 first.
The 23 first is the one that made me pause.
I would trade Pitts for that.
Yep, I would too. I got all excited with Frymuth and the 106, and I was like, yes, send him. But then,
yeah, values on the
man, if that was the 104 and the 23 first, that would be so like
it would be smash
on 2 teams. And if that was Muth the 104 and the 23 first, like that's something I would actually accept.
Yep.
If you had Pitts.
Well, no, I'm saying I do have.
You guys are not farther behind than normal. Thanks, Daniel.
Not anymore.
That's why I like Daniel. That's why, when the show goes off and we're all arguing about who sucks and who's great, I'm always on Daniel's side. Daniel's my favorite. After Joe. Is that noise just in my head?
That was probably my furnace kicking on.
Oh, sorry.
I just hear the music. The ding, 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 ding.
You want me to change it? I can't. The only time you weren't was when you guys had a hard stop at 11:30 a few weeks ago. That's fine. Urban Dawkins, my people. I'm with you, man. You're my guy. Thanks, my dudes. First time on the stream. Love the content. Really appreciate you checking it out. Sorry, it was a little hard to figure out what was going on. The fact we weren't responding to you. We're trying to get
you
better,
don't know what's
man.
going on. Neither do we.
But the good news,
30-year-old idiots who play fantasy football. We're not professional streamers.
Hey,
we're trying.
I am a man. I'm 40. But
that's fair.
If you stick around, if you're here frolicking heifer for the next like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 shows, you'll figure out kind of what's going on. So you gotta keep coming back.
Get in.
Look at you. The funnel towards more viewers.
Jump in at 9:45. Drop your question. Go grab a beer. Come back in 25 minutes, and we'll almost be there.
Listen back to the VOD. It's fine. It's fine. Andrew Carson, what are your top 4 in this rookie draft? Good, solid question. Pre-draft, remember, the draft will literally change nothing for us, but it will change things. Go for it, Zach.
Willis.
Zach first.
Breece Hall. Traylon Burks. Garrett Wilson. Full stop.
Outhouse.
I'm stuck on the fact that he started with his pinky. But it's the exact same answer in the same exact order. But
have you ever seen
1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2, 3. Like you end up in the same place, but I've never. And it goes inside. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. I'm gonna try and start doing that.
You remember the part from Inglourious Bastards where they were explaining that Germans count numbers differently? Yeah, it's a cultural thing. 3. It's weird. It's really interesting though. But it's don't just get like the cultural anthropologists to start it.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is so goddamn good because many reasons, but the very small thing where they go to break into Kingpin's office I guess it's Doc Ock's office, when he says he's coming 35 and like he does a different 3 than they've shown someone else do. Like because he's from a different universe.
Yep.
Sorry. I just really like that movie.
No, it's cool. I didn't know that. Top 4 picks.
Well, we just gave ours.
Who you got, Pete? Who you got?
No, Zach gave his. I was waiting.
Mine are the same.
I've actually been building out my draft board. Is this Superflex? Did he say? He didn't say. Okay. Hall, Burks, Garrett Wilson. No, I'm looking at Weimers. Yeah, Drake London.
Those who's your next player if it's not top 4? Zach? Like, if you had to choose Pickens, you said, right?
Yeah, Pickens is 5.
Okay.
And then like
that's DLF.
Right now, I've got Spiller as the next one, but that that could change.
Walker or Spiller, right?
Yeah, Walker again. I don't think has the receiving upside right now, but he's a tremendous runner.
Sorry, I'd like to retcon mine as well. I was reading DLS top 4, and I would not have Drake London in my top 4. I don't know why I said that without thinking about it. I think I'm just going to be low on him. Not Superflex. Off the top of my head, Hall, Burks for sure, Willis fine, and then probably it's Walker or Spiller. Yeah. And if it's Superflex, you put Willis in there for right now. Tua or Trevor Lawrence? Tua. Give me Tua.
Yeah, probably it's close.
I mean, even before the Hill thing,
Tua's got a much better team built around him.
Just don't draft Jags, man. I mean, speaks for itself. I really feel bad. Trevor Lawrence has done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
That beautiful year of Allen Robinson and Blake Bortles. Come on.
Oh, I mean, I went all in on Keelan Cole not so long ago. So
they always had 1 year wide receivers, and it was so much fun to chase them.
I prefer to send, accept, or reject. Talking only gets you into trouble. I have found a similar thing. It's part of me being a weak trader. People can talk me into shit. Or I can talk myself into stuff is actually what tends to happen. Joe, Zach's next parody song, Treading Away That Hill, Kate Bush.
So it's funny because I think I'm going to parody the only song that Weird Al actually wrote himself, which was Everything You Know is Wrong. Everything you know is wrong, but it's going to be Everyone You Know Is Gone. And then just like a list of all the guys that have been traded in this offseason. So it would be like a parody of a real song by a parody artist. So there would be like some Inception going.
Where else do you hear about this song?
Tweeted out a picture of the last scene from Fresh Prince where it's Will Smith in the empty house.
Yeah.
This was a fun place a second ago. He'll get along with Juju. Juju teach him TikTok and shit. It'd be fun. David Ross. He's talking to the other fellas. I'm moving on.
But this is a good. So Uriah said, "I prefer to send, accept, or reject trades. Period. Talking gets you into trouble." I like to engage in conversation, not necessarily around the specific trade. But I'll engage in value conversations to feel other people out. Yeah. But like when I'm making trades, I don't enjoy haggling. I don't enjoy that. So I'm kind of like straddling the both worlds. But I think what David said is true, because adopting your approach to figure out what other people are looking for is also important.
Tell you what, I'm only in leagues with people I know at this point. I know most of them at least, and that's almost awkward, especially doing this show. I'm like, I almost want to sign up with a Flea Flicker account, which was my preferred Dynasty platform of choice before I got into MFL, because that's one my friends played. And just play in leagues where I don't know people to get a better sense of it. Anyone ever felt like that?
For a while, I was doing that. I
like the number of leagues I have, but I want to experiment.
For a while, I was doing that where I was in 2 or 3 Dynasty leagues that like I found in a Facebook, and they're all they disbanded. I had some good drafts.
Yeah, if it were up to
that'll
me,
do it.
I would talk every single trade offer that was a real offer, and like not like, oh, I'm bored, I'm just going to send the entire league a trade. That's silly, but like, I love this crap. Like that's why I do it. So I would absolutely talk every real trade offer that came my way. Like I would absolutely have the conversation, because first of all, I'm way too honest for my own good, and I will give everyone my full on real values of everyone, because I don't think you need to be sneaky, and I don't want to be a dick to my friends. So I don't care about talking. And again, fun.
That's fair.
Like, I'm not going to ignore my family, but yeah, no, I would do it.
Jake picked up Marietta at the end of the year and traded him for a third. Probably get more now.
Yeah. But still free third.
But good pickup. Your mind's in the right place at the end of the season. Quarterbacks that could raise some pain. I have almost zero time to discuss trades. I don't even enjoy listening to my wife ramble on about her day when I get home from work.
Could you ask her to talk about Jalen Waddle and Juju? Because that might help.
I mean, yeah, don't just, I get most of my personal stuff done.
People just don't enjoy talking.
Just wait till your wife falls asleep and you sit there with your phone and you're just like, okay, let's go.
A quill? I'm going to go with a quill. Adams and a 204 for the 103 and a 24 first.
103 and a 24 first. Adams.
It's 2 first-round picks for Adams, basically.
I'll do that.
But one of them is 2 years away.
Oh, 24. I missed that. Yes, because Adams for the 103 is kind of honestly fair.
Yeah.
So,
which is kind of sad. It's sad.
Which is where we'll...
and
there's McCaffrey, Waddle, or Cook, and Cup.
I think I'm taking the Waddle side.
I'm very easily taking the Waddle side.
Yes, very easily, personally. Would it be better to keep Mike Williams for now and try to trade him during the season? You're probably going to get a better value when he's scoring points, but I think his points are going to be inconsistent again, so maybe not. It's about the trade, man. Try and get some good trades. And if you can't, then hold him.
Yeah. Right. I don't think his price will change, so.
I don't think it will, though, no. It's worth sending a few now. I was just wondering, since he got the bag and he get time. Yeah, it makes so much sense. Like, that's my concern on Juju, honestly. The fact that they didn't pay him at all. But the contracts can be so misleading. Follow the money sounds so right until it just does not work. Like, they just played Njoku. I promise don't follow the money there. Don't.
It doesn't work anymore, especially with cap minimums and people like the Jags who just give every wide receiver the best contract ever.
And then they just rework it to somehow it never happened, and it's just magic at this point. What should be added to A.J. Dillon for Gibson? A first? Easy?
Yeah, I think probably a mid-first.
I think it's first.
Is it?
I think Dillon's value is it's going to rise.
Is it not up
maybe
there
wait.
I'm saying wait,
Gibson, wait.
Yeah.
Just wait. Got offered King Henry for ETN in a 1 QB league. I probably
take Henry.
For that. Yeah. Henry. In fact, I don't know why I said probably. I would just take Henry for that. That would be a question for me.
But Henry had a foot injury. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Mike Williams on a 23 second for Elijah Moore and a third. Elijah Moore all day.
I think Elijah Moore's scoring will be more consistent even when they will draft a wide receiver. They are going to draft a wide receiver, but I still think he will be more consistent than Mike Williams, if anything, because his other wide receiver guy won't be Keenan Allen.
It's not even the consistency for me, because I like high variance players. I'm not worried if he goes off 1 week and doesn't go off, then I just want more points. I think Mike Williams' production isn't just inconsistent; it's something. It's too low. It's too low. It's not that he scores 20 points 1 week and 0 the next. It's that there'll maybe 3 games where he does something and the rest below replacement level.
Do you think that you can wait until the draft when the Jets take Treylon Burks or whoever it is that they take, and get Elijah Moore for cheaper than this?
I think this is cheap for Elijah Moore.
But do you think you can get him cheaper?
Yes, they are going to be the Jets, and they're like everyone is mocking a wide receiver at 4.
Yeah.
And even
my concern for Elijah Moore is Zach Wilson, by the way, to go back to your Trey Lance take. But I think Moore can work with bad quarterback players.
But the concern of the community is going to be.
I need a screenshot. Sorry, Russ's face was perfect. Carry on.
Russ's face is always perfect. Look at that.
That's fair. That's true. Actually, look at that, Buddy Christ. Look, I like it.
But don't you think that the community, not like Peter plugged into vacation targets and all this, but the community is going to drop Elijah Moore when the Jets draft a wide receiver 1?
Yeah.
And so, to me, I'm still waiting on trading for Elijah Moore because I think I'm going to get more value in a month and a half, a month and a couple weeks because we're talking the end of April. Like, I'm gonna wait because I don't need to make this trade right now.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna get more for him.
Or but this more, is already low for more. Again, this is maybe where I'm a weak trader. I'm just like snap.
No. But you wouldn't be wrong for taking this. But if you want to gamble, then yeah, you wait and you see if you can take that pick out.
Hey Joe,
we love that you're having fun.
That's why I should play high stakes. Play however you have fun.
A very different idea of fun.
I have like money. I hate gambling. I went to Vegas once. I lost $40 at the end, and I felt bad.
No,
I was up
New York State just
I just don't enjoy this.
New York State just said that it is not gambling.
That's true. There you
go. That fantasy football is a game of skill. I read it somewhere. I think Matthew Berry tweeted that.
The trick is I go to Atlantic City every once in a while because I'm like an hour away, and it's I go to AC and I just think I'm going to an arcade. I am not winning anything. I'm going to spend 20, 40, 50 bucks. I'm going to have fun.
Just have the time of my life.
Yeah.
Racing cars and shooting zombies. Yeah, I'm much the same. And I want to be I know so much about this stuff and people are making money on gambling. And I'm just it's just not for me. It's just not.
It's also a lot of work.
Anthony Miko's gambling grind looks so impressive, but I see the work he puts into it too, and I'm like, I tried
to actually play DFS for a season, and I hated it. I did it pretty low stakes, I was doing $2 to $5, and I was winning. With that low stakes,
I would end with more money than I started, and I knew if I bulked up, I could. But
at some point, I was up $30, $40. I'm just this is cool. I'm tired.
Yeah, for me, it's always that bandwidth. It's I just don't have the bandwidth to build lineups. It's the same reason why I don't play Devi.
And then you have to worry about percentage.
I don't have the bandwidth.
Percentages. There's so much that goes into
it. And it doesn't mean that that's not a great game, and it doesn't mean that you're not having fun with it. And I want you to have fun.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's just,
but everybody,
you
be happy. Play your high stakes. Play whatever you want.
How much would you need for Kirk Cousins in a tight end superflex league? I would need more than the 106, a second, and a third. Personally, more than that.
I don't think you're getting. I'd be. Shocked
I don't think you're getting it. That's
the second
again,
and third.
But
how much would you take for Cousins? I don't care what you have, but I feel like I need much more than. I would be very happy to get the 106, a second, and a third for Kirk Cousins right now.
Yeah, just take the points, but I get
it. The production is worth. You'll get more production than that value, but value-wise,
I think you're getting similar. I don't think you're worried about the production having Prescott, Lance, and Garoppolo because you're gonna have two quarterbacks no matter what. Yeah.
No, I just mean in general.
I'd rather trade Lance. Lance trades for more than this, and there's more. I'd rather just trade Lance if I'm looking for value.
Valid.
He wants the ceiling.
That's why I'm low on Lance. It's just I'd rather have that value, less questions, and when you can get a Kirk Cousins for, no, that's where I'm at. I'm not trying to win through quarterback, even though I can admit their difference making in the Superflex League in the top 5. Top 5 is just a hard target to hit.
Right.
Hang on. I forgot what that number was. Repeat weights for quarterbacks in the top 5. How many quarterbacks do you think repeat year over year in the top 5? It's actually 2. It's as high as running back. It's 30%.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
I mean, because we've had Allen and Mahomes or maybe not Mahomes. He had that one weird year, but Allen has been for the past 3 years at least, right?
It's also that same for running back, and it's 29% at wide receiver, so basically the same thing. And we're constantly talking about how they won't repeat because they're not in the top 5. It sounds strong, but there's a weakness to it. And it's such a hard target to hit. Mark Andrews or TJ Hawkinson and 23 first.
It's actually probably Hawk in the first.
I think the value's fair.
Yeah.
But because Andrews is one of those tight ends that matter. Yep. But I do really like Hawk.
Hawk is close to a tight end that matters.
If he could freaking stay healthy.
But the 2023 first is a pick that matters.
Yeah.
The minute a tight end isn't sexy, he's barely worth a first. So I kind of take the first when they're available for tight ends. So I kind of lean the first round pick here.
I mean, didn't we just
fine, not anywhere near Andrews, but I just take the first.
Didn't we just say that you probably couldn't get a first for Kelsey like not very long ago? Or so
the minute they stop being sexy, and right now that's just Kyle Pitts, and now he's not sexy. I guess Mark Andrews is the last sexy tight end standing. To be honest, right now, right? Pitts is probably still worth that because no one's got him's going to let him go for less. But
Peter's a film guy. Look at that film guy.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm just pure. I'm not low on London because I'm a film guy. I'm not low. I think I respect what he did.
It's so
that's
funny
the thing.
I haven't.
It's so weird to me when I get told that.
Yeah,
like I look what he did and I was like, oh, that's a good player. Not quite as good as this one. Not quite as good as this one. He dropped a wide receiver 5 or so, but I was like, yeah, but I like that player. Like. It's not that I'm low in London. You are low on 3 other wide receivers compared to me. That's take that. I'm not low. You're low.
But I also think I had this conversation with J Mike a couple weeks ago that we keep looking back at players who were successful in the NFL.
It's really hard to look forward at the ones that are going to be. You know what I mean?
Listen. So how many post up wide receivers are successful in the NFL right now? Mike Evans.
I don't know what that means.
What do you mean you don't know what that means?
Sounds like a film. Inside, outside, X.
I mean,
carry on, Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, Mike Williams, who you don't like.
I mean, Chase.
Pittman, who you don't like.
Chase
is not. No, stop with that. No, no.
He's so much more than that, but
no, stop. No.
I'm trying to derail your argument because I love the prototypical X receiver and stop ruining it for me.
There is the prototypical X wide receiver
is dead.
Is not a thing in the NFL anymore.
You were absolutely
there are a few guys who succeed that way, but there are a few guys who succeed that way. Like it's not like it was when you had Des Bryant and Calvin Johnson and Julio and all of these guys that were, big downfield X. There are not that many. And so Drake London, if he gets pigeonholed into that role, which he may, because he was good at that, it's going to be a similar story to N'Keal Harry, who also looked like he should fill that role. It wasn't how he succeeded in college, but it still was the role he got put into by one of the best and most creative coaching staffs in the NFL. So, I am concerned about London. It's not that London is not good. The things he does well, he is good at. It's not necessarily the direction the NFL is headed or has been headed.
I think that might be a good reason for why. And I've never been lying when I say I just don't know that I'm capturing it by he's not comparing well to those players doing well. That might be the underlying reason, but that's why I can say things like, I don't really even know that thing is. Because when you go look at successful players, he's not doing the same thing, so he has different numbers.
That was
slightly low.
When you had Anthony Amico on the other day, and he had this list of comps for London, I'm like, none of those guys do what London does. They're all very successful, and maybe their stats are similar, but they don't play anywhere near the same. They're all guys who can shift inside and create separation in space, and they're not a go down the field and go high point, which is what London does well. Is is create separation at the catch point. And he doesn't even, Russ, I know you have Kane in the back of your head going late separation. He doesn't even do the late separation thing. He just goes physical and goes up and gets it. Like Jamar Chase does.
Randy Moss.
Jamar Chase does the like, all right, I'm in second gear, I'm in second gear, and pop the clutch. Now I'm in fourth gear and I'm gone. Like Jamar Chase will do that. London doesn't do that. And so again,
I had a clutch.
Yeah, see, but he's not a bad player, and he's my wide receiver 5. So like, I've had people tell me I'm low on him. I'm like, okay, fine, no. Somebody the other day was like, "Are you high on Pickens or are you low on London?" I'm like, no,
neither.
Yeah,
YOLO.
Right, yeah, that's fine.
Daniel, if you're in a Superflex startup that has rookie picks as kickers, where do you value the 101? 4th round.
Rodrigo Blankenship.
Sorry, I'm just stuck on 2 comments from now. I'm broken.
So to your ideas, Chalk from Unstoppables runs a bunch of leagues called Chalk Leagues. Cool. And those leagues give you a really interesting mix of fish, sharks, depending on each individual startup. Cool. Joanna says, Zach, I didn't know the songs you do are parodies. Your SRS, I can't read that.
Seriously thought they were all original.
I wish they were all
creative,
original.
though.
They're not. I couldn't do a song a week. Original.
So where's the Melgo song come from?
Is from Encanto. We don't talk about Bruno.
Yep.
How is there a human alive that
she's grinding high stakes Dynasty League? She doesn't have time for Enchanto. Come on.
But that was so, Joe, and I apologize for this because I took this out of my bio. But a while ago, I was not Weird Al, and so then you would have known.
I've made similar mistakes, Joe. Don't worry about it. Like I'm very non-knowing of popular culture, so I've done that. Joe Herbert, Elijah Moore was the biggest winner of the Jets not getting Hill. That's true. I actually do seem to remember that they were on the tape. Like it seemed to happen before I even heard the rumors, so I didn't get to fear that. Alex, 2023 second and a third on that Cousins trade plus the 106 this year.
He put 22 when he meant 23. I kind of figured it.
Yeah. So, doesn't change it for me. David Ross, what happens if the Jets don't draft a wide receiver?
I still think you get him for that. I don't think it's going very much higher than where it is.
It won't go up, but it won't fall.
Yeah.
People hate the volume guys. That's weird.
I love the volume guys.
Personally.
Yeah.
I kind of like points. How much would you pay for Gage? 211's fair. I don't know I'm paying it, but
who cares about the 211? Yeah, go get him.
211's fine. I'm not targeting him, but that's probably good value.
You might get some use out of him at the beginning of the season if Godwin doesn't start.
Well, and you also have the games where people are injured and the third receiver goes off.
Games it feels like every year. So.
McCall Hardman level points, and that's to say nothing of his utility to the team. The team's going to be glad to have him, no questions. Grade for the 211 is more than fair. Yeah, I think so. Gage should have a huge year with Brady.
No, that's going a little far.
I knew you were a big
huge
Waddle
like
fan.
Tyler Johnson.
Don't know who he's talking to here, but yeah. What are your thoughts on him now? You probably answered this. Yeah, we've talked about it a few times, but that's fine. I think we're all still where we are. We hope people come down on him. I'm on a 23 third for a 23 first.
Take the first. Run.
Yeah, probably. It's hard to find a trade for Amon-Ra. I want to trade for. I want to be buying him and stuff. Evan McPherson, greater than all kickers.
That's fair. That is fair.
Don't
it's
judge. It's
too late. I judged. I judged hard.
Don't worry. I got you, Joe. I'll get him backstage. We'll figure it out. It's fine.
I have a 6 and an 8-year-old, and I love Disney on my own anyway, so I was never escaping it. But
I have kids, and I freely watch them because they come out sometimes when my kids are asleep. I watch Turning Red before my daughter ever watched it. I love them.
Ungrateful little jerk of a 6-year-old watched it without me. I didn't know you'd want to watch it. What are you talking about? I introduced you to Pixar movies.
So this past week, I did Schoolhouse Rock as redone and sampled by De La Soul, which was at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. So like 3 is the magic number.
Do I trade Ayuk for the 110 and the 110 for Waddle? Yes, you do that.
Wait, do you trade Ayuk and the 110 for Waddle? Yeah.
I do.
Well, you can't read, Russ?
No,
I mean, we've been trading the 101 for him all night. So. Yeah, we're good. We're good there. Last week I traded Hill for Waddle, the 201 and the 23 third.
I think
straight up win.
Are still happy
straight
about
up
it.
Win.
Yep.
Did this trade get better or worse? I think it's even, right? It's even.
Probably got a little better, but
didn't trade change me on
Waddle's value shouldn't have gone down. Hill's value should have gone down.
A little, just a smidge.
Yeah. Whatever the difference is between Mahomes and Tua.
That is very much
smidge. That's not the same thing. Cup for a 23 first, 23 and 223 seconds, and the 206 this year.
Cup, very easily.
Yeah, I think I'd take Cup.
I mean, multiple seconds doesn't do much for me when you're talking about Cup. So,
if a team stinks, I consider it, but probably not.
No, don't sell low. I mean, again, like
this would be a great trade for Adams right now. That's probably a route where we'll be on Cup this time next year.
But that's fine. But that's not where you are on Cup this year. Like that's the thing.
Exactly. The points matter, and that's why I say it's Cup. But if your team stinks, it's worth considering. Probably counter for just 2 straight up first. You know, like he's getting nickel and dimed a little bit here. 2 first is so low for Cup. But if your team stinks, you gotta play for value a little bit.
Yeah, but nobody likes compilers, Peter.
No one likes the volume guys. And again, Cup's gonna be great this year. No concerns.
Amazing.
Dynasty's a fickle bitch. I don't know what to
Imagine.
Don't know how to tell you this. We caught up with the chat. I think everyone left until let us catch up.
Everyone was like, "Yeah, you guys are way behind. We didn't get our question. We didn't get our questions answered.
Never answer questions.
You talked about woozles. How come you didn't talk about popples? They're like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I missed popples. They had the pouch. They were like the marsupial teddy bears. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry.
What's Michael Pittman's value right now, Zach?
I have no idea.
What would you trade away to get him?
I missed the player you said.
First round picks.
In first round picks, I'd probably trade the 108, 109. Like once I'm out of that, like Walker, Pickens, the guys I like.
Just checking.
Why?
Because I've been strongly to trade Pittman, and I just wanted to check it hadn't jumped. I'm a little worried. Matt Ryan can make
Zay Jones
maintain. No Zay Jones content.
We could throw it over to the was it the Married to the Game who did Say My Name, but they did it better than I did. So
there hasn't been any Zay Jones content in a minute. That was back when wide receivers were easy. It feels like. Now they're all complicated.
Somewhere I get a Zay Jones rookie write-up, but I'd have to dig.
All right, we're talking about Zay Jones. That's cue for me to go to bed, fellas.
That's fair. Really appreciate everyone showing up. Hopefully, some new people turned up today. Hopefully, figured out what the hell is going on. We hope to see you again next week.
What's that over there?